So much to talk about today. I said, yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Amber. This is Amara's Logic. Got a new video for you today. Milwaukee Bucks trades, rumors, and news. Live edition. Before we get into it, you know the spiel. Comment, like, subscribe, and share this electrifying content with the people. Salute the Bucks Nation. Salute the friends and family. You saw the thumbnail. You saw the title. You seen the media frenzy. Y'all know we here to talk about all the trade rumors surrounding the Milwaukee Bucks, Bradley Beal, Zach LaVine, and dark horse Jeremy Grant. The Bucks are looking to make a move. We've had a great conversation going into in the community page and underneath some of the shorts. So I figured let's go live. Let's talk about it. Let's see how Bucks Nation feels about this about these possible moves, the impact on the roster, chemistry situations, and possibly losing someone from our core that helped us win a championship. Is nostalgia gonna affect growth for this team? Should we stay put due to us getting in a bit of a groove, or do we rock the boat to try to get past our ceiling? Because it's something we need to discuss as well, friends and family, is if this current roster has a ceiling. Now, if you feel this roster has a ceiling, then we definitely should make a move. And before you say, hey, so and so did this, so and so did that, I feel you. I feel you 100%. But this is about winning championships. This is about the betterment of this team. So I want that to be taken into consideration when we discuss this topic. Let's not let emotions lead us astray. Let's look at this from a logical perspective, and let's have a great debate here. I see all the different viewpoints here. I see we got to keep Chris. He's been here from the beginning. I see let's get Zach LaVine. I'm seeing let's not get Beal. I'm seeing let's get Beal. It's so many different viewpoints. I find this topic extremely interesting, especially being that right now the Bucks are on a 4 or 5 game winning streak. Things are looking up. Do you want to rock the boat? That is the real question. Do we want to rock the boat? And I feel that if you think this team has a ceiling, then we definitely should rock the boat. Because if I'm being honest, from the discussions that we've had so far this season until this live, everyone is saying the same thing. We're a playoff team, but can we beat Boston? Can we beat the Knicks in the series? Can we beat these teams in the series? So these are questions that we need to address. And like I said, we need to look at this from a logical perspective. But let's see who up in the chat. I'm going to tap people in here shortly. I know everybody got a lot to say. Let's see who in the building. Then we'll get to some of these questions. I'm going to start tapping people in. My boy Quick Draw McGraw. What's good, famo? Luke Lipinski in the building. Derek Stevenson in the building. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Marjan Cron in the building. And Victor, what's good? The homie Humilidon straight out of Puerto Rico in the building. Saul Callie in the building. What's up, Patricia P? Janet MOC. I see y'all was going in the comment section. Queens of the chat are definitely in the building. Eliza, I saw you earlier. Brandon King Carter in the building. Mr. One Game at a Time. D. Smith. Carrie, what's good? What up, Scales? T in the building. Spanish Gatsby, very interesting. Some of y'all got some very interesting names. Salute. Veggie Gross, what's good? Appreciate you tapping in. Dark Kent, what it do, bro? Mr. Cool, the living legend. Greg Delaney in the building. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Timothy, what's good? Man, I see these comments is just, it's a lot going on. K Real Sports Talk, what's good? King Keys, the homie Tommy Jackson is in the building. What up, Tommy? Good to see you, bro. And the General, 78 Sports TV in the building. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Bleach Report Boss, Just Fresh Tech. I see all y'all in the building. Appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to go through some of these comments. Then we're going to open up the lines. Let's see what Bucks Nation is talking about. Like I just want to reiterate these points now. If you think this team has a ceiling, you should be thinking about us making moves. Now, if you don't think this team has a ceiling and you think this is a championship roster, then I can understand that you would want to stay pat. But if there is a ceiling, you feel like we're going to have trouble against the elite in the East, a move is definitely should be thought about. And the reason I say that is look what Boston did. Boston had a team that went to the championship, and one of their key defensive players would be compared to our Drew Holiday. They traded, they won a championship and ain't looked back. sometimes you have to dare to be great. Sometimes you have to dare to be great because if you already know what we got, what it's gonna give you. Now let's see if we switch it up a little bit. Can we raise the ceiling? We're trying to get past our ceiling. We're trying to exceed expectations because winning a championship would be exceeding the expectations, I believe, of this current roster. So I do think we need to figure out something. I know we know who's going to have to get moved. We know it's going to be like a combination of Middleton, Bobby, Pat, and like Marjan. Somewhere in there it's going to be. So we already know we're gonna probably lose with somebody from our core big three, which I mean of the OG big three of Giannis, Brooke, and Chris. So I think Chris is probably more likely out of here if they do make that trade, which would be unfortunate. Lifelong Buck, definitely going in the Bucks ring of honor. Should have a jersey retired, but sometimes you got to make a move to be great. 78 Sports TV, the living legend. What's good, bro? Appreciate the $10 super chat. I don't want to give up both Bobby and Chris to get Beal overpaid, fragile, but we have to make a move somewhere. That's the thing. Appreciate the $10. That's the thing. We gotta be real, bro. That's the thing. 78. We gotta be real. My boy Quick Draw McGraw came with it out the gate. Said Dame, Ajax, Levine, and Giannis. We would be just as athletic as any other team in the NBA. That is a good point. And that's another thing that this team is sorely missing is athleticism. I agree. If it was between Beal and Levine and I had to pick, I would pick Levine. Okay, Quick Draw McGraw with the stats. Levine, 51% field goal percentage, 45 from three, 82% from three at 24 points a game is extremely efficient. That's extremely efficient. Appreciate that, Quick Draw McGraw. Luke Lipinski in the building. What's good, bro? I think we should try to trade for Zach Levine, but instead trade Bobby, Pat, Marjan for Zach Levine. That's not going to work, bro. That's not going to work. Like, again, we're in the second apron, Luke. It has to be dollar for dollar. So for the math to work on Bradley Beal or Levine, it don't matter. That would include Chris and Bobby. There's no way around that. I don't know if there's any way around that. Maybe you can throw in Pat, because Pat getting 9 million, Middleton 33, 42. Maybe you could throw in a Marjan and make it work. For Levine, you could make it work. But with Beal is over 50 million, so it would take a little bit more for Beal. Zach Levine would be the more economical choice as far as salaries go. The homie Derek Stevenson says, salute Bucks Nation, friends, and family. The national media want us to jump on the Beal, Jimmy Buckets, and now Levine. Horse don't answer the phone. We're starting to jail. I feel you. That's what I'm saying. That's the other part of the coin. Come on, y'all. Hey, hit the like button as y'all come in here. It's for the free 99. It helps stray Bucks fans find the chat that they need to belong to and the Bucks podcast they need to listen to. Appreciate y'all hitting that like button. That's the thing, though, Derek Stevenson. Yes, we're gelling. I feel you. We're winning games. But again, I would ask you, is this currently constructed a championship roster? That's my question. Marjan Kron said Levine could jump and has the moves like Jagger is insane. Bro, that's crazy. What up, Sadowski? Okay, Sadowski said Bradley Beal would make the Bucks unstoppable. No, Amara, acquiring him would cripple the Bucks and gut our depth. It would literally end Giannis' era. Please, no Beal. I feel you. These are things that are being discussed. That's why I want to get everyone's point of view. Like I said, it was heavy discussion in the community section and under some shorts videos. So we talking about it. And I understand everyone's point of view. I get it. But like I said, when you want to win a championship, you have to make some daring moves sometimes and do moves that you don't think will work, but you have to make them work. In another example, when the Chicago Bulls acquired Dennis Rodman's character, his background, nothing fit the Chicago Bulls. But when he got there under another alpha dog, he fell into place. So I'm just saying, I know some of these people might have character issues and all that, but I think when you come on this team and you already see the leadership and you have a proven winner and Giannis Antetokounmpo, 2-time MVP, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, you gonna get on cold. You gonna get on cold. And then you got another top 75 backing them up and Damian Lillard. How are you not gonna fall into place? especially if you ain't never won nothing. How you gonna come here and talk and say anything? So let's understand that we're not the average team. Yes, our roster's a little weird and convoluted, but as far as our stars, our two top 75, there's no doubt any in them. I guarantee they'll make sure that locker room is straight under all circumstances. And if I'm a player like Beal or if I'm a player like Levy, I would pray that I could come to a team like the Bucks, where you have a strong locker room, you have a leader in Giannis Antetokounmpo that gives 100%. You got a fan base that's going to support you, and a chance to actually win a championship. We were having these same discussions when I was talking about us getting Dame. Never forget. We were talking about getting Dame. Oh, that'll never happen. He wants to go to Miami. He hates Milwaukee. I don't care what he said about Giannis. He doesn't want to come. And he's here. And then he brought us Gary Trent Jr. So sometimes let's look at our history to predict our future. I'm just pointing things out there. I'm not saying yay or nay. I'm just providing information to allow Bucks Nation to provide an educated decision on this situation. And Victor, what's good? You have lost your he's lost your damn mind. Bradley Beal for bench because he can't coexist with KD and Brook. What makes you think he will work with Dame and Giannis? Dame and Giannis ain't soft like the KD and Book, respectfully. Their personalities are that they're not alphas. So why would he listen? Giannis is a definite alpha. Even if we don't talk about Dame, let's just talk about Giannis. Giannis is a different animal than KD and Book. All right. Yes, the only difference is KD got 2 Finals MVP to Giannis's 1. That's the only difference. And if you look at accolade, yeah, the 2 defensive players of the year, Giannis is a more decorated player, and he was the bus driver winning his championship. So yes, you're gonna listen to him. He's the bus driver. As great as KD is, he don't get the respect he deserves because of what he did going to Golden State. It is what it is. Again, coming here is gonna be a different. It's gonna be a different animal. My boy Humilidon checking in from Puerto Rico. Salute, bro. Appreciate you. Janet MOC, what's good, man? Bill can't stay healthy either. Maybe we'll keep Middleton if we're considering that. Yeah, I just think they're just trying to shake up this roster, Janet MOC. Like I said, I believe deep down, a lot of people might not admit it. They might believe that this team has a ceiling, and they want to go past that ceiling. They want to break through the glass, and to break through the glass, you have to shake the roster up. That it just is what it is. Brandon King Carter, build a salute, Bucks Nation, family and friends, taking one game at a time. You already know. D. Smith said, I'd rather keep Middleton than Beal. They get Beal. I get that. If I was gonna get one or the other, I would prefer Levine easily over Beal. If we had to make a decision, I would choose Levine. I think Levine has way more upside. Look at Scales. Look at Scales. I'm cool on Beal. I feel you, bro. I feel you. I feel you. Team backing you up. We good on Beal. Okay, are y'all good on Zach LaVine? He ain't the only person in the mix. Are y'all good on Zach LaVine? Spanish Gatsby said, Chris Hayes confirmed Bucks don't want Beal. I was an atheist until today. They were saying that too about Dame. They were saying that the Dame wasn't an option. He wanted to go to Miami. If he doesn't go to Miami, he's going to be unhappy and all of this and that. And look what happened. So that's why I'm saying you got to take these analysts with a grain of salt. They are paid by someone else to do their job, which means they can be told what to do. I'm paid by the people. So I'm not paid to say what somebody else wants me to say. It's unfiltered here. That's the difference. What up, Veggie Gross? The homie Dark Kid in the building said, fam, tell me Bucks Nation not pinning the hopes of getting Beal to save the Bucks season. I'm not saying it's going to be Beal. It could be Levine. Some people want Jeremy Grant, but if it's Jeremy Grant, I'd rather keep Middleton. Let me say that. Out of the 3, Jeremy Grant is the one I would want the least. Here, Mr. Cool with the stats. I just checked Levine and Bradley Beal defensive rating, and all 15 of the players on the Bucks roster is better than either of these players. Our defense has been real good. No need to mess with it. Like I said, there's a lot of different ways to look at this. A lot of different ways. Patricia P said the Bucks are just starting to gel, hit their stride, and now you want to mess up the chemistry and start back at square one. What if you got to take one step back to take 5 steps forward? What if that were the case, Patricia P? Just what if that was the case? Not saying that it is or isn't, but what if that was the case? Timothy Modi, what's good, bro? If you think Beal will make the Bucks unstoppable, then you don't know how many points they will score on the Bucks. The defense will collapse. That's also a problem too. And I know our defensive rating is okay, but taking everything into consideration, let's get the homie super chat, start tapping people in. The homie Hoyt Street E in the building. Appreciate the 199 super chat. Ain't no brainer. You go for LaVine. Yeah, if we gonna get one, I would definitely say LaVine. I would definitely lean towards LaVine. I'm gonna put the link in the chat and start tapping people in. We're gonna go over these comments and let's kick it, Bucks Nation. Let's talk about this topic and kick it. Tap in the homie. Hey, Pass, you good? All right, let me tap in the homie Pass. Let's chop this up. Hey, Bucks Nation is definitely feeling a way about this. Definitely feeling a way. Definitely. Hold on, let me tap you in, bro. There we go. What up, Pass?
What's good? What's good?
What's good, bro? So, hey, this topic is all over the internet. Everybody's all charged up and in arms. I like that the Bucks are getting this attention, but not for this. I'd rather for our play on the court versus off the court. But we here now. Let's chop.
Let me explain why we're getting attention about this first, and then I'll go into everything. The reason why we're getting attention in is because it's all because of Butler, all because of Jimmy, and how much the Suns want him. So the Suns are just thinking wherever they can trade them. Because a lot of the reports that are coming out about us being linked to them is from Sun fans, is from Sun sources. So don't take that seriously. So anything you see with Beal and us, do not take it seriously. It doesn't make sense contract wise. It doesn't make sense logistically in the team wise, like how it fits. It doesn't do anything for us. So don't look at that seriously. Now, if you see a trade rumor about LaVine, even Jimmy, honestly, that has more validity to it compared
I
to the
actually
others.
think the LaVine one makes a lot of sense for the money because LaVine is in the mid 40s, which would be perfect if we were to trade Middleton and Bobby and maybe throw in Marjan if we need a couple extra dollars. That would work.
LaVine also works as he's in a younger age group, so it
Correct.
works for long term too. Because he's 29, same age as Giannis, 1 year younger, or whatever. That's perfect age time. And I know I saw Mr. Cole talking about the defensive rating thing. Don't look too much into that because defensive rating is also kind of team related. If the team is playing well defensively, their rating will go up.
Right.
In isolation, LaVine really isn't that bad of a defender. Like on ball, especially, he's okay.
Right.
Not bad. Not average.
No, I agree with that.
But he does fix a lot of issues for us on offense, especially. He knows how to cut. We have another person who
he's explosive. He can actually dunk the basketball and come to the hoop with aggression.
Not even just that. The biggest thing is off-ball offense is what he has. He has that with something that we do have from Chris, but it's not the same, I guess you could say.
Right.
Because Chris has been used to playing as a second player for a long time. So it works well with this because LaVine has been doing that with when DeMar was there, when he was the lead guy, when Vooch would be there. So you have to be sometimes a third option a lot of times. Especially when Lonzo was healthy too, because then you would have Lonzo usually bring up the ball. So he usually be a catch and shoot type of guy. That's something that we have there. Now, I do agree with most of the chat of just essentially keeping the team as is, mainly the starters. I'm including Chris as a starter in this situation. Okay. Only because it doesn't make sense I don't think the trade is there. I think the trade is more so trading Pat, trading Bobby. Those are the two guys you want to trade. Right. The Beal thing,
that gives you about 20 million between the two.
21 million. Yep. If you trade, well, let's say you're trading Bobby for another big, whatever that big is, let's say he makes the same amount of money. So that money you essentially just cancel out. The one that matters more so is the Pat one, because Pat you could trade to. A lot of the rumors I'm seeing about Pat is a lot of teams some teams just want him for salary filler.
That's what I said. Yeah, that's his value. He's just a dead. He's dead money on the books.
Yeah, you could trade him to.
And hold on, I'm gonna address this question. What up, Malik King? See your question. Let us be healthy in the playoffs and see. We haven't seen that yet. Malik King, that's actually part of the problem.
We
That's
haven't seen that.
that's
Yep.
actually part of the problem. Is that
See,
we don't know when we'll see that, if we'll ever see that. That's part of the problem as well. Hold on one
that's
second, pass before you get into. Let me just get the homie King Kwame super chat. Appreciate you, bro, with the $4.99 super chat. We have to make either a trade if it's available, but Levine is the one. Lives close. We need more athleticism, height, defense. He played these East teams. No lies detected. Yeah, if we're gonna go away, I'm not mad at Levine. I'm not mad, especially like you said, the age, the production. I'm not mad at that at all.
okay. So, like I was saying, mainly, so the Levine thing, especially what that guy was saying. What was this? Let me look at it real quick before we go back to it. Where did he put it? I just saw
No,
it like
CJ
earlier.
McCollum is too old, bro. He not gonna help us either.
There's no CJ McCollum
Yeah,
talks.
CJ
Whoever's
McCollum is not gonna help us,
don't.
bro.
That's not one of them.
Yeah, that's not gonna help us, bro. That would
Oh,
just
right
be
here.
for nostalgia.
Okay, so like what he was saying with the playoff stuff, this is the issue. Yes, we're not healthy a lot during the playoff, but this team's also old.
Right.
You don't have much time to check that. You don't really have much time to like, let's see what they do in the playoffs. That's a 1 year, 2 year gap max.
Right.
So you really have to make something sooner or later. Or
True.
else, what do you use? What is Giannis on the team for? What is Dame on the team for?
Right.
What you
True.
you just trying to sell tickets? Like, what's the point? Are you
We
trying to
gotta.
win, or are you trying to sell? Are you just trying to sell? Are you trying to make money and just make the front office happy and nothing else?
Right. Right.
Because the fans will be pissed off about that.
No, definitely, definitely will. Hold on one second. Let me get super chat. I'm gonna tap you in here, Scales, in a moment. We gotta get the homie No Strays ENT, our favorite out, with a $4.99 super chat. First Dave, not Bradley Beal or Zach LaVine. How many superstars Giannis need to beat Peyton Pritchard? As many as
Neither,
LeBron needed to win his championship. Whatever it
neither.
takes for us to win and beat y'all is what it takes. And you got some nerve. Y'all got Kristaps Porzingis. Y'all got Drew. Y'all got Derek White. Y'all got Jason Tatum. Y'all got Jaylen Brown. So how much talent do y'all need to win? Like, come on now, bro. Hey, we keeping up with the Joneses. We keeping up with the Joneses. Hey, we trying to beat y'all. If we gotta stack the deck to beat y'all, we gonna stack the deck, no strays. Y'all stacked the deck to win a championship, did you not? You stacked the deck. Y'all got everybody y'all could. Y'all roster like a $500,000 a year, $500,000,000 a year. Come on, bro. Let me tap in the homie here. Hold on. What up, Scales? What up, Scales? How you doing, bro?
Good, y'all.
What up? What up? What up? All
What's
right.
poppin'?
Before we get into it, with Scales, let you chop it up. Go ahead, pass it. If you want to go ahead and finish your point, sir, then we'll swing the mic
Okay,
to Scales.
so let's just assume these trades do go through,
Mm-hmm.
and they do happen. So it would have to be at minimum 3 teams. It if it's Jimmy Butler, let's say it's only us and
Miami.
Miami. It'd be another third team that would have to be involved to help trade us, like whether it's Detroit, Charlotte, whatever. Right? I know Raptors are trying to get into this too. Apparently, they're probably trying to get some picks.
Okay, James.
That's one team that's there.
Okay.
So that would essentially you're sending Pat out somewhere, probably the Raptors,
Okay.
and then Bobby and Chris are going to the Heat. Jimmy would go to us. I don't know about you, but these Heat fans do not watch these games, our games, because they are talking about Bobby like he's the second coming.
I can see that though, because you look,
They
if you're a
were
box score, if you just watching the box score, you would be impressed a lot with Bobby. But if you watch the game, you will be very frustrated watching Bobby. You know what I'm
they
saying?
were some of the Bobby talk that they were saying was insane.
I
Yeah,
believe it. I believe it.
what
So
I
what would be
saw
the
from the
scenarios for Levine?
Levine's one would be obviously would have to be if this is the probably the most realistic one is a 4-team trade, I guess. So you'd have us, the Bulls, Phoenix, and you'd have the Heat. So all four would have to be. Everyone essentially gets what they want.
Okay.
Miami gets their picks and Chris and probably Bobby. We get Levine. The Heat gets.
Who the
Bulls get
Heat?
to tank.
Okay.
Yeah, Bulls would get the tank, so they would get the picks,
Okay.
and then the last one would be probably, and then the Suns get Jimmy.
Okay.
That's the
The
most
most
likely
realistic.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing that the guy was saying, yes, Chris Haynes 100% said that there is no link to it with us with Beal. It doesn't make sense money wise. It doesn't make sense. By
They were saying,
contract,
I understand. They were saying the same
there's
thing about Day. I'm just not putting anything
but
past anybody until trade deadline is
this
over.
there's a different reason though.
Yeah,
There's a
I
difference
get
between
it.
this. There's a difference between this and that because with the Chris was Haynes was also the same person for us to say that Chris was coming off the bench before anyone else said it.
True.
He knew the day before.
Oh,
Before
we're
it
gonna
even
see. We'll see. Maybe to
So
me,
it's more likely. I gotta
I
head
would
out real
prefer
quick.
Levine. It's just Beal
Yeah.
has been pushed so much, but I would prefer Levine. Let's go ahead, Scales. Tell me how you feel about everything. Go ahead. Pass.
Nah, I'm about to head out, so I'm
Oh, you
hang on real
okay?
quick, right?
All right, appreciate you, Pass. Let me reorganize this real quick, famo.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, bro. It's a very emotional topic, fam.
I just happened to look at my phone and start seeing all these alerts and all this weird scenarios. Like, you know me, I've been the buyout market guy, right?
Right.
Because I don't got much flexibility.
Right.
But we don't even have flexibility in the buyout market. The whole time you've been prepping the show, that's why I left the comment section because you know me.
Right.
You got us homework, bro. You done turned this up, man. You done really turned me into a statistician, like really a student of this game for real. I'm saying that to say this, like in the second apron, for instance, right? So like Bruce Brown, just give an example. Bruce Brown, champion, you know what I mean? He could be on the buyout market from the Raptors, right? We can't get him because we're in the second apron.
And we don't got no roster spot.
And we don't have a roster spot. And we're in the second apron. If you're in the second apron, you can't sign kind of like how Detroit got Blake Griffin that year. Or who was that? The Nets Blake Griffin that year.
Right.
Or how we got, you know, like you can't do that if you're in the second or the first apron.
Right.
So it's only like maybe 9 teams that got an opportunity to even go on the buyout market.
That's why that's why the trade rumor mill is, I think, is really moving, because that's the only way we can improve this roster. Which is why when we was talking before, I was like, if we being realistic, no moves are gonna happen until the offseason unless some type of blockbuster trade occurs. That's why I said you got to be realistic, and that's why I said we got to accept this roster unless we do some type of blockbuster trade and get Levine or Beal or whoever else. Otherwise, this roster is what it is, and that's why I was asking the people, Scale, with this current roster, is there a ceiling? And if so, shouldn't we be looking to shake it up?
I liked how you gave the Marcus Smart example and a few others, but you know, when you look at that, they traded defense for better defense, better decision making, better shooting, even taller. Giroux's taller than Marcus Smart. So they kind of swapped the same player just with better intangibles, I would say, but they're both excellent defenders. You can already see Marcus Smart effect on the Memphis Grizzlies.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. You can already see how that culture of what him and Giroux do. They're the same kind of guy, but Giroux's just better.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's a better offensive guy. Like I said, he's bigger. He can guard all 5 positions. You know what I mean? He's just a different type of dude. But
this was a championship team that went to a championship. My point was, even a championship caliber team made some huge changes to the core of their team.
But I feel like we made our move. My counterpoint to what you were saying, I felt like Dame was our move.
Okay.
If like how Boston made their move to jump and get Holiday, he jumped and got Dame.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In Giannis's eyes, fans of the franchise's eyes, even mine, I thought that was improving the roster. As much as I love Holiday, Damian Lillard is Damian Lillard at the end of the day. So, you know what I mean? So that's how that kind of happened. But none of the moves I've heard, I don't want Jeremy Grant. That's a waste of time.
You know what, man? Let's talk about Jeremy Grant. I don't hear nothing about him. It's been 40-some games in the season. We at the halfway point. I ain't heard not a damn thing about a Jeremy Grant. I don't want him nowhere near here.
No. He's in Portland with a bunch of kids and he ain't making no noise.
Bro,
Like that's
he should
weird.
be dropping
Like,
40 balls.
look at Harrison Barnes with Victor Wembanyama. He
Right.
hooping it down here in San
Right.
Antonio. You know what I mean? Because that's him and Chris Paul locker room at the end of the day. Like, I'm really running things. If I want to shoot this thing, I'm shooting it.
This thing.
You know how long I've been here? Jordan Clarkson in Utah. Like, you know how long I've been here, bro? Like, I'm shooting this. You know what I'm saying? I just don't really. People say, do you think this is a championship roster? I do.
Right.
As I look at the league right now, did I in October, early November? No. After the cup and parts of, you know, December and right now in the early 2025, yes. What's a championship roster? The top 8 teams?
Yeah.
Right? The top 4 teams from each conference, right? They could all be in consideration for winning the ring.
I agree.
Well, we're in that spot. So I think unless we get, like me and you said, a younger athletic big, which is a dream, you know what I mean? Other than that, I don't really see any roster moves that I would make or you need to be making with this team right now. Like, I don't. That's going to really improve it. I like Levine.
Okay.
But do I want to sacrifice Middleton's decision-making for that? I don't know, bro.
That's the thing. That's what makes this ill, bro, because he going to bring a little bit more scoring punch. He's going to bring some athleticism, but then the basketball IQ.
You hate how much we turn the ball over. That's your number one thing you complain about, how loosey-goosey we are with the ball.
Right.
And the guy who has the best assist-to-turnover ratio on the team
is Chris Middleton.
So
right.
that's what I'm saying.
Crazy.
Like, I don't know if we can sacrifice that for athleticism right now.
Because, I mean, we going to be real. Our team has low basketball IQ for the most part. And we keeping it real. We talking straight. You know what I'm saying? Our team has low basketball IQ outside of a few isolated players. Facts. So I definitely agree with that. But then it's just like availability, explosiveness. How do you rate all of these things? And you know what I mean? Availability. Even after he had those 2 major surgeries, Levine's been available, bro.
Out of all the names that I heard, that was the only one that kind of intrigued me. Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
He could possibly be coached up though, Scale. Let's not act like I was giving an example. Like Chauncey Billups wasn't Chauncey Billups till he got to Detroit on a good, strong organization with some leaders, and then he became what he is. Sometimes a change of scenery can change it all for you. We thought Randy Moss was washed with the Raiders until he got to New England, right? And then he was revitalized, looking like a young Jerry Rice. Sometimes the change of environment can help.
Chemistry is big. Look at Cap.
Right.
Look at Karl Anthony Towns here. You see what I'm saying? Chemistry, being at home. He's a New York kid. He back at the crib.
He looked different out there. Yeah, he looked different.
He looked different out there. He balling out. And the guys that he playing with believe in him. They're giving him the rock.
But that's also helps, though. What if we, I'm not saying we're going to do it, but what if we believe in Levine? Make him feel, you know what I'm saying, wanted. Is that going to affect his game and how he plays? I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there.
I don't know. You're right. Golden State jumped and got KD. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's been done,
they
bro.
were 73-9. But that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you just got to go. So let's see what happened. Let's roll the dice. Let's see what happened. Again, they were 73-9. They're like, oh, no, we were 73-9. Let's come back. They're like, no, we coming back with another clip. And that's what y'all got to be thinking. Just because it was good enough for that last year, don't mean it's going to be good enough for this coming year. Every year is different. Every year is different. We thought Denver was going to be a perennial championship contender. Now, look, they window closed like that, bro.
Even like I think our roster compared to theirs is kind of the same. It's just that they had a younger team to start out with. Their championship team was a lot younger,
right?
But they ran into the same problem, not being able to pay people. KCP, Bruce Brown, those dudes were huge,
right? I agree.
They were as big as Jamal Murray were in most of those series to me. Like, you know,
Bruce Brown in that championship series, he was probably the second or third best player behind Murray and Jokic. He was hooping,
and he got paid too. You know what I'm saying?
He did.
That's how well he played. He went and got paid after that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's what's kind of messed up their team. And what they've been forced to do is what we've had to do is that's develop young guys. The Peyton Watson kid, the Strother kid, a lot of minutes now. They're giving the Braun kid out of Kansas more shots now. You know what I mean? And then you bring in a vet like Russell Westbrook, and he's kind of changed the culture for the Nuggets this year. They look a little more spry than they did last season. You know what I mean? They look a little more, and that's because they're relying on him and then they're playing their young guys because they don't have a choice.
Here go
Because
our
they can't
people
go get
skills.
they can't go get anybody else either.
Oh,
what do you say?
Hey, no strains, ENT. Appreciate the $4.99 super chat. Our favorite op. Bill said in an interview. We know about the interview that the Bucks tried to trade, came in for him in an interview, which translates Giannis wants him. So get ready. He's on the way. He did say that. But that already let me know, though, too, with Bill even saying that deep down, this organization might feel that there is a ceiling.
So that deal was supposed to go through 2 years ago. He was in Washington still when that deal was talked about, right?
Correct.
So 2
that
years
was right
ago,
after. So that's right after we won a championship.
So right after we won the chip, you was gonna trade Mitty for Beal. Then there's no Dame.
Yeah, understood. Understood. There's a lot to think about, right?
Yeah,
it's so much. The butterfly
so you keep
effect.
Holiday, who was in interviews like, "Hey man, we just won a championship. I might retire in a year and a half."
It was so much.
I ain't heard him say that in Boston, no strays. What's up with that? He ain't saying that in Boston, but in Milwaukee, he was hitting other interviews like, "Yeah, I might retire, and I got about a year and a half left."
I guess that's
Remember Holiday was saying that? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Wahab said, can we acquire something better if we wait till the off season? I don't know.
I think so. I think you got more flexibility in the off season. You know what I mean? It's a lot more movement. In the season, teams are already moving. This is chemistry time. I think Mr. Cool said that, or even Patricia
Shout out
P.
to Mr. Cool.
Like, we finally gelling. Yeah, we 40 some odd games in, man. This is when the gel happens. This is when you kind of know what your team is and what they're gonna be. This is it. Like, a few teams have a second half after All-Star break run. You know, that's lightning in a bottle. But most of the teams that are where they are right now are gonna be there in April.
Right.
You know what I mean? Barring some crazy injury to one of their stars or something. But if they stay fit how they are, this is about how things are going to shake out. You know what I mean? Where teams are now. You know what I mean? The bottom teams do a lot of movement. You know, the top teams don't really move like that.
Right.
You know, top four, they might juggle, but they pretty much stay the same. And we got some smoking hot teams like the Cavaliers and the Thunder. They're making themselves almost uncatchable. You know what I mean?
They running away, right?
Yeah, they running away with it. So it's like I said, I feel like we got a championship team, but I agree with you. Championship teams have made moves. Dennis Rodman. I mean, you can just look through the history.
Go through the history.
Yeah. Kevin Love in Cleveland. There's been moves that have been made to make sure, you know what I mean, we get this ring. Like,
or at least get you a chance to get a ring. But look at Kyrie and Luka.
Yeah.
I'm just showing examples of teams that had made some changes that were a little questionable, but ended up working out in the long run. You know what I mean? But you have to be bold sometimes. You got to be bold.
You know, I'm always fall back to I'm not a 2K guy, man. I'm a real basketball strategy guy. And like I said, the basketball IQ on this team is kind of low. And that's where Chris excels at. He might not have the athleticism, but his jump shooting, free throw shoot, you know what I mean, his free throw shooting and his passing and his chemistry with our star player, man, like that's hard to recreate. Like we see Damian trying to get it, but Mitty and Giannis has been 8, 9, 10 seasons in. Like that's chemistry you don't really see like that. You know what I mean? And you see it in the little minutes that Chris do get to play. You see when he get out there with Giannis, he's looking for Giannis.
Right.
If Giannis is on the floor with him, he's not even looking for his shot. He's trying to create for Giannis.
No, I agree.
It creates offense for him. It makes the game so much easier for him. And he's not trying to play hard because he doesn't have the durability to go as hard as he used to. So he has to make the game easier now. And that's by being a facilitator. You know what I mean? And who easier is it to facilitate to the best paint scorer in the NBA?
Yeah,
I would love to, you know what I mean? Pause, feed that guy all night.
Right.
If I was a guard. You know what I mean? So yeah, Robert Williams III. But if he hits the buyout market, we can't get him.
Get him anyway. We gotta. And the thing is, people not understanding because I still see people in the chat trying to combine Pat, Bobby, and Marjan. You can't do this combined. It got to be player for player. Y'all have to understand our financial situation is dire. It's dire. If you play Oregon Trail, we're in meager. We have nothing. We can't do anything. unless it's player for player, dollar for dollar. Please understand, Bucks Nation. We can't package people together within the second apron. Player for player, dollar for dollar. Or we can take back less, but we can't take back more. That's the thing.
And what gives you leverage. The reason why teams like OKC, even the Brooklyn Nets, are hanging on to their draft picks, the Utah Jazz, because that gives you leverage. They're like big poker chips at the poker table. You know what I mean? Team will throw away 3 guys for 6 first-round draft picks. They'll give you 3 superstars. You've seen franchises do that. So that's why people hang on to those draft picks like that, because it gives you leverage. Either we can draft a stud, or we can use these picks in a future deal, Mar. You know what I mean? And get what we need to get us to the next level right now. The Bucks, we don't have any of those. We don't have first round, second round picks. We have none of that.
They talking about 20, 30 for draft picks, which is ill.
Man, come on, man. Come on, that's sick. That's sick. And I guess you want to knock horse, but at the same time, it's win now, right? You got to win in this though while your superstar is here. You got one of the greatest players of all time in a jersey in his prime, and you got to win while you got him. So, and you're not in California. You're not in Florida. You're not even in New York. Hell, you're not in Boston. Cats rather play in Boston than Milwaukee. So that just shows you know what I mean? You small market, but you got one of the greatest players of all time in his prime. So maybe you got to give up 6 second-round draft picks for Jay Crowder because you think that's what's going to push us over the top. See, Amara, that's what I'm scared of. I don't want another one of those deals. PJ Tucker worked, but Jay Crowder didn't. You see what I'm saying? Wesley Matthews worked, but we've got scenarios of people who don't work. Malcolm Brogdon's going to be on the buyout market. I would love to have Malcolm. I love that Malcolm at a cheap price, at a buyout market.
But we have to open up roster spots. That's the thing. We got to find a real talk. This would need to happen. We need to find a way to get rid of Pat for maybe draft pick. Say, we'll trade you, Pat, for like 2 second-round draft picks. And then we buy out DeLon Wright. That gives us at least 2 roster spots for flexibility.
Wasn't that Indiana that gave us all them second-round picks for Noir, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we gave those, but we gave those for Crowder, I believe.
Crowder, yep. But that's what I'm saying. Beauchamp, his age and youth, I would feel like that would garnish a future second-round pick from somebody, right?
I would think so. I would think at least, I think he's worth the second-round pick. Yeah, even margin, I'd move all 3. But I'm not sure in the second apron, somebody have to confirm in the chat if you can trade a player for a pick if you're in the second apron. I don't know.
Like I'm telling people, look at that CBA, y'all. I was just looking at it. It's a lot of stipulations, and we're one of the teams that are in the second apron, so we're over the threshold because we got these big contracts. So that's why when you hear people be homers about Middleton, about Bobby, about Brooke, all 3 of those guys could have left us years ago and went on the market and got them a bag. And they didn't. They took cuts when Bud was here to keep that championship roster together. You get what I'm saying? So now on the back end, we're paying them. Now they're older and we're giving them what they're really worth because they took a shorter amount. You know what I mean? A few years ago.
That's all. Yeah. I mean, Chris Middleton gave us the hometown discount. That's what makes this intriguing. Do you
even Bobby? You know, Bobby could hit the market. Bobby could hit the market 2 years ago, and he took a short deal with us for less money. So, you know, like Brooke too, and we're paying. I think we're paying Brooke and Chris for the years they didn't get paid. You know what I mean? So that's you kind of stuck with that, you know.
But that's what I was saying. Maybe the offseason will be best because then Brooke legitimately falls off the books. This is last year under contract. And then Middleton has a player option. Does Middleton want to pick up his player option or does he want to opt out for more money? These are all, that's why I don't know if it's better to wait till the offseason or do something now. Dre West, I see you. Bro, I'm not 100 on Beal, but Levine, like we were saying, is intriguing. I think Levine is intriguing. Just because of athleticism and his scoring ability. But on the flip side, he's not the playmaker that Middleton is or has that IQ or championship pedigree. So there's a lot of things to consider. Or just wait till the offseason.
You know what Chris can do? He can at the end of the year, he can opt out whatever the agreement is right now and then sign for less money to give us more.
That's an option too. That's what I'm saying. Like, is it better
James
to
Harden's done that before? It's a few superstars who have taken a couple. It only take a couple million. I'm saying a couple billion like that. Like I got But I'm saying in their world, it only shaves a couple of million off of your deal or whatever. And it gives the team roster flexibility and money to go get somebody or get a young guy or pay a young guy. You know what I mean? Because when these young guys get paid, they play better. So, that's encouraging for a cat too. Once you give them that bag, they play better, But like if Gary Trent balls out, he continues to play the way he plays. Do you just let him hit the market or do you give him some money at the end of the year?
But that's what I'm saying. It's going to, like, if we do a move like this, are we going to have money available to pay a Gary Trent? Are we going to have money to lock up a Derry Bird? What about there's so many variables to this whole equation, and I know that the Bucks are trying to win now and make a splash, but at what cost?
At what cost?
At what cost?
And to the legend, Mr. Cool, and Patricia P, chemistry, bruh. At what cost do you trick this locker room off? Jay Crowder trying to, you know what I mean?
Right.
Trying to fix something that ain't really broke for real. Where you trying to fine tune. You can get in trouble doing that. You know what I mean?
That's the thing, right? You can only tweak so much. But sometimes it ain't the first outfit you put on that's the one that win. It might be the second or third. Hey, before we go out, you might put that one outfit. You like, that's the let me go back in the lab. Then you come like, yeah, I'm glad I went back in the lab. I'm just throwing things out here. I'm not saying there's a right or wrong answer because I understand and I'm with a lot of the chat. Chemistry is huge. I completely agree. But sometimes, like I said, you got to dare to be great or do something dangerous if you're trying to win a championship. I think we've already shown that we'll do something dangerous getting Dame.
And firing our coach.
So I'm just saying, as much as y'all think it might not happen, just look at our history. We've done, even getting Drew. We didn't think that was possible. That blew our mind getting Drew. And then we spun the block and then got a top 75 player.
Almost got Garneri too, but we got ratted out.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So just don't think that this team won't do it. That's all I'm saying. If it were to happen, you shouldn't be shocked. Or if something happens in the offseason. But I do think this roster will be shaken up to a certain extent at some point. Either now or in the offseason, this roster will be shaken up. Salute, Bleacher Report, boss.
Salute, Bleacher.
How you doing?
All right. Man. We chopping it up. You see all the different viewpoints. What is your view? What is your view of VP? Because this is a lot. Look at Scales. He's still thinking. He's still
thinking. Man, you see me over here. I'm like, man,
it's been all day.
All day, bro.
Here, this scenario here, and like updates. I've been getting constant updates about, scenarios here and there. And I'm like, okay, first, don't want Bradley Beal here. If you want to ask me for Bradley Beal, I'm like, nope, I don't want him. I don't want him.
Okay. What about the other options? Other people on the table are Levine, Zach LaVine, or Jeremy Grant?
I think Jeremy Grant. Towards ACL. Everybody in the chat was like,
oh, maybe. I don't pay attention to him. I never hear nothing about him. That's why I don't want him. Even if he did tear his ACL, I still don't want him because I ain't heard nothing. Yeah. I think the only sensible option out of these three people, even if you want to say four to include Jimmy, Zach LaVine would make the most sense if we're going to make a move. If we make a move, Zach LaVine would be the safest pick. Y'all let me know in the chat how y'all feel like that. If we were to make a move, how would you feel about Zach LaVine? Dre West, how do you feel about that? I see you standing on Bill. What about Zach LaVine? Let me throw a monkey wrench in there. So go ahead, Scale.
Can he bring Jalen Smith with him?
Oh, that would be dope.
Man.
That would be
I'm pulling the trigger. See you later, Mitty. Yeah, I'll holla at you. Yeah.
But let me ask you this question.
Jalen Smith with him, we got a deal.
This will stop me talking about it. My thing is, do we really need a guard or we need another big? What we need more?
Right.
Another big, another guard. And that's like the thing I kept getting stuck with. Like, okay, why are we getting the guard for? We don't really need a guard. We need another big, if anything, because we got Rollins. We need to get a roster spot for Rollins.
That's fair.
I'm like, that was the one thing I was kept on blocking. Like, we don't have no roster spot. Cause I can remember Amber always saying we don't have a roster spot for Rollins. So another guy. So
that's another monkey wrench in the game. We have to open up a roster spot just for Ryan Rollins. Let's not forget. Salute the Bleacher.
So if you waive DeLon Wright people have to understand his money still counts against our books. So you in a pickle, bruh. Like you damned if you damned if you don't, pretty much right now. Like,
yeah, the second
that's the
April is
right
really hamstringing the team.
Man,
so if you traded Pat for like a pick for some of the team, they'll take him
I
off
don't
your
even
books,
know if
or
you can do that with the second apron. I don't know if you can trade a player for a
we
pick.
trying to find out.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do that, bro.
Man,
that second apron is no joke, bro.
Bleacher is so many restraints. It's like they got you in handcuffs, bro.
Right.
You can't
Straight
do any
jacket.
of the old, because you know all three of us, we from that old era, man.
Right.
Get this dude up out here, give me what we need. You can't do that.
Right
it's
now.
like, I want to say it's like 13 teams in the league right now that can't do that at all because they're over. And we're in the second apron. You know, there's another apron above us. That's where the Celtics are.
Right, the third
apron.
Warriors.
Yeah, they're in the top apron. Like, we in the second apron and can't do nothing.
Right, so what can they do? Right. Hold on one second. Exactly. Our boy back in the super chat. Hold on. No Strays ENT, our favorite with the $4.99 super chat. After destroying the Nets, Heat, and 76ers, Ainge giving away picks, and Tatum BFF available. Hope y'all peep the play. Celtics playing chess, not checkers. Hey, we gonna do what we need to do over here. You think you slick? No Strays be thinking he's slick. Salute to No Strays. Hey, you ain't got to come over here with no Kansas City shuffle. I know what you on. Yeah, we ain't going for it. Salute to No Strays, though.
Bro. I mean, I like those Strays.
I hope Bradley Beal go over there and mess up y'all team.
Right? Yeah. Why don't he take him to Boston? He a bad locker room guy. But like I said, LaVine. But I don't know for the big. The thing that people need to understand too when we're talking about bigs are a commodity. No one is just gonna give you a big. Okay, especially let's be clear. I see everybody in the chat. Oh, let's get an athletic big. From who? You think somebody's gonna give us a big player for player without no picks being involved? You're crazy. You're crazy. Even if we giving up Middleton, they would want a pick on top of that. That's how serious it is.
That brother is cooking right there. Nobody is going to give you a piece of their future without taking a huge chunk of yours. That's the whole deal, the way these deals work in the NBA. That's why, if you look at OKC, they got draft picks to the end of time. First round picks, like 26. Because that's what every deal they made.
Hold on 1 second, Bleacher. Hold on 1 second. Go ahead, Scales.
I'm sorry.
No, we good. But I was just saying, every deal that they made, if you pay attention, they took back draft equity. At the time, we were all scratching our head like Russell Westbrook for 7 first-round draft picks. But yeah, the other team, now they have no future. They just leveraged another team's entire future.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? And then when I want to go get an SGA, or I want to go get Alex Caruso, or I want to go get Hartenstein or whatever, now I got the draft capital and the money to do this. You see what I'm saying? And that's why when you look at teams like that, we can't make those kind of moves, because before the CBA, we were making those kind of moves, and the NBA kind of frowned upon it. Like, oh, everybody's going to run to Milwaukee and play with Giannis now? No, we got to put a stop to that. So this is where the stop comes to it. It's either Giannis, you keep your teammates,
right,
or else, pretty much. Like, you're not going to get nobody new. You better stick with the guys you got in your front office, better make the checkbook work.
Right.
Or it's going to be a problem, or we're going to penalize you for it.
You know what's worse, right? You know what's that right now? That's baseball. With Dodgers, Yankees, picking all these big players, moving their money back to the future 10 years. It's getting bad in Major League Baseball.
Profit share. But see, they profit share in baseball. That's the difference. NBA, we don't
profit share. Great point. Yep. That's a good point.
If your team ain't making no money, I don't care.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? If I'm Steve Ballmer with the Clippers and you the Hornets, I don't care that you ain't making no money, bro.
Right.
I'm not about to help you. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're not doing that. Like,
so that does make it a little different, though.
Yeah, in baseball, they don't mind Aaron Judge and all these dudes getting all on the same team, because it's all profitable for the entire league. You see what I'm saying? Everybody makes a coin. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, but I get it. It's just like, I know people want us to get the athletic big. But, hey, that's just like, trying to get the coldest looking female in your high school. It's going to cost something. It ain't going to be for free.
Look at Robert Williams ended up in Portland how? For Jrue Holiday. Yeah, a guard, one of the best defensive guard. Maybe you could argue top 5 in NBA history, but in this era, he's the best on-ball guard defender in the
Right.
league.
The
Period.
numbers prove it.
Jimmy Butler had to play like Michael Jordan to put Giroux on a, you know what I mean,
Right.
to expose Giroux. Somebody had to play like Michael Jeffrey Jordan for 4 or 5 games to expose him. Other than that, he's never been exposed, right?
I agree.
You had to trade a guy of that caliber and some draft picks to get Robert Williams to Portland. And he's hurt all the time. He's a young athletic big that's hurt 90%
Think about
of the time.
Think about that, friends and family, an injured big.
An injured
multiple
young big.
picks and a player. Let that sink in. Multiple picks and a player for an injured athletic big. So I just want us to temper our expectations and be more realistic if we're going to make a move of what we can get. I don't think a big is possible.
No. Cats like Jonathan Isaac is making a bag in Orlando. He don't even play a lot of minutes. He's getting paid because he's 6'11", can play 4 positions. You see what I'm saying? And can jump out the gym. Orlando's got a bunch of guys down there like that they just gave a bag to because you have to pay those type of guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
Young big can stretch the floor. Like, you have to pay them in today's NBA. They're getting paid. And they're valuable.
I agree with you, Dre West. I would keep Lopez until the end of the year. There's no reason to trade Lopez.
Yeah, there's no point. No point in giving.
I agree with that.
I question for you, Skills.
Mm-hmm.
Now it was a trade. It was a trade yesterday or the day before. It was the Suns getting 3 first-round picks for Utah's. I was like, what in the heck is they doing? Like what?
So,
what?
They loading up, bro, to make a move.
And what that is, that's Phoenix trying to get some draft capital.
Because
that's the only way they're gonna get off of Bradley Beal. Nobody wants Bradley Beal $50 million contract for the production that he's giving you right now.
Without something to sweeten the pot.
Yeah, the only way I'm gonna take that is if you got some of Utah's first round draft picks. Because I told you Utah's one of those teams like OKC that loaded up on draft capital. Right. They just haven't hit on SGA yet. You see what I'm saying? Right. They're hoping the Keontae George kid or some of them young Isaiah Collier, some of them young boys they got over there are turning into that eventually. But they've got a bunch of draft picks over there in Utah. You know what I mean? So that's why that was Phoenix loading up. And Utah can't sit on them draft picks either. That's why OKC got to really start moving them draft picks too. The NBA and the new CBA put a limit on how long you can sit on draft picks, like first round draft picks. Right. You got to either move them or do something with them or something. So you can't just, you know what I mean? You can't just hoard them.
It's to keep it competitive. As you can see now, the NBA, besides a couple teams got up, it's been fairly close. I think they want to keep it competitive. You know what I'm saying? That keeps it competitive. Yep.
Yeah, they want parity. They want parity.
So I'm just very intrigued. But like I said, anything, if you guys are looking for a big, I don't think that happens until the offseason. I'm going to keep it $1. I don't think we get a big till offseason. I think if somebody's going to be moved, it's going to be like a Bobby, Chris, Pat, Marjan out of those 4. I do think Brooks stays on this team no matter what till the end of the year. But those guys, I think if we make a move, it's definitely going to involve those 4 players. Guaranteed.
I agree with the chat and a lot of people about the big because I think we really want the big. It's about 40% Brook is 60% protecting Giannis.
Right.
Yeah.
You get another athletic guy. You don't have to put Giannis on the best player on every team. Not just throw this big athletic kid at people the same way we doing with
Andrew. He got more gas in the tank at the end of the game.
Same way we doing with Jackson on the wing. Like we always talk about, Jackson ain't got it all the way in his bag yet, but he got the tools to get ready. And as long as he keeps sharpening his steel, he gonna get there with minutes in production every night. Same thing if you get a young big, you take Giannis off of people. You know what I mean? Every night.
But how do we acquire the young big?
Yeah, if you can acquire, you know what I mean? If you can.
But how do we? Is there a way that we can acquire a young big without any draft capital? I don't know if that's possible.
I don't think so.
That's the problem. Yeah, I just don't think that that's possible. Unfortunately, maybe it is. Let me not be negative. Maybe it is, but I think it would be a long shot for a team to give us a big player for player and not sweeten the pot without any draft picks. I can't see it.
Me either. Because any teams that's hemorrhaging for money or trying to dump, they can just wait till after the trade deadline and then just put guys in the free agency and let them hit the buyout market. You see what I'm saying? So they don't have to make a trade with the Bucks to give them some cap flexibility or something like they used to, like you used to have to with the old CBA.
Right.
This new one, you do that. I can sit on these guys if I can't trade them at the trade deadline. And here, Bruce Brown, take $3 million to go home. You see what I'm saying? Or take $9 million and go home. You won't get your whole 21 or whatever we owe you, but here, take this 9. This settlement and go home. And then another team
called it a settlement. This dude is
you know what I mean? Then another team assigned you. Like take this severance package and hit the road, Jack. You know what I mean?
Because it gives us flexibility. That don't make it better, bro.
No, it don't. But it free us up in the summer to do what we got to do, and you can handle your business, bro. You might land in Boston. You might land in Cleveland. You never know where you land. You know what I mean? And you might be on your way to play and be on TV all summer. So, you know.
The return of my boy from Jersey, Pass. What's good, Pass? Appreciate you tapping back.
I just had to go get some food real quick. I was starving.
I feel you. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. We glad you back. We've had an interesting conversation. So we do want to know, Pass, can you trade a player for a pick if you're the second apron?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
you can.
Okay. That makes things interesting. Now that makes things very interesting.
You can, but the issue is who's gonna give up a pick.
I just want to know if we can do it. We'll figure the logistics out later.
Yes,
we just want to know if that can be done.
I know, but we have to figure this out now because the people we're trying to trade,
I can take a second for that, man. I'll take a second for that.
The 3 players everyone wants to trade is Pat, Marjon, DeLon. No one wants any of them.
Nobody.
So like,
nobody.
I'll take a 2034 draft pick for DeLon, right?
And remember this. Remember when we traded Jordan Nora?
Right.
For Jay Crowder? We had to give up picks because Indiana did not want to take him. So they're like, we need picks with it. That's why we lost 5 first round. That's why we lost 5 seconds.
Yeah, we just had that discussion. My boy reinforces. Salute the Pass.
Yeah.
This is the exact reason why our players aren't our bench, like non-rotation players, no one wants. They're not they don't have any value.
And we can't just buy them out either, can we? We can't do that at a second apron, right?
Pat, no, you could do buyout technically, but we don't have space anyway. So
that's the buyout. And we so hamstrung.
Like right now, a buyout option would be D'Lo because technically he's available for buyout because the Nets are trying to just get him off contract.
But he doesn't help us too. That's another guard, like.
Yeah, he doesn't help us, but that's just an option.
When I looked at the buyout market, it was like D'Lo, Bruce Brown, Lonzo Ball. Great. It was a bunch of guards.
Lonzo would actually help.
He's a bigger guard and defensive. If he can stay healthy, he got like a new kneecap or something. He should be straight, I guess, or whatever he got. He got some new muscles or something in his knee. He should be straight now. But Lonzo was a great defensive player before the injury, and he's a creator. And what, he's 6'7"?
Yep.
He's not. No, I think he's shorter than that, isn't he?
Okay. Or is he 6'5"?
Yeah, I think he's like 6'5".
Melo 6'7".
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, Melo 6'7". Okay.
Oh, it's 5.
But Melo's the truth.
Yeah, ain't he?
Melo the truth, bro. I mess with LaMelo. We got some young talent in the NBA. I ain't gonna even hold you.
We got some young talent. He's 6'6". It's the same height, pretty much.
Yeah, 6'6". Yeah, so that's still a very big point guard.
So yeah, 6'6" for a point guard's great. You're like that. You're taller than SGA, so there's that.
Yeah, true.
I mean, here he wouldn't have to play that many minutes, would he?
Yeah, he would be a bench piece, so it's fine.
Yeah, he wouldn't play like 30, 40 minutes a night or nothing like that.
It's more so because I rather give Rollins a chance over him.
Me too.
That's
what up, Dr. Smith?
I rather give Rollins a chance because I think he deserves it over. Like, yes, Lonzo's a better player, but I'm giving it to the guy who I know will be healthy, who has been trying his ass off to get a contract this year.
And he comes at a bargain too. Zoe's getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Zoe Ball getting paid. So Rollins coming.
It would be buyout for him, but still, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that big dude too. We was talking about him last time, Bona. There was the 76ers center that was holding Giannis. I thought he would be somebody nice, but I know they're not giving him up. But that's something we want, a player that is like that. That's a rebounder, defender, protect the basket, play strong defense, can move his feet. That's kind of I think we're looking at.
You know what's funny about the Bono guy?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when we were talking about those picks
back
in the day, like who we were gonna draft? He was on my board. He was one of the guys that I think we should have gotten. It's like,
really?
he could be a Bobby replacement.
No, he got some game and he tough. I like it. No, I like it. They got something with dude. What you think, Scales?
Bobby was a good Bobby with the brain. That's really what he is. Without the same offensive punch.
I was thinking about, like, I was bringing up Orlando, right? And they got all those young guys with length or whatever. And that was the guy who drafted Giannis. That's running their front office, right?
Yeah, same.
So when you think about it, it's weird because if I drafted a guy like Giannis and he turned into Giannis, like outside of Thon Maker, I don't even remember us going to get anybody remotely in that build or archetype of a player. Like, and that's weird to me. You get what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't you go get another one of those guys and develop them? Like, that's weird that in the draft, those type of guys be available late in the draft. Just pure athletic big dudes who are raw talent, like the Boner kid. They be available late in drafts. That's weird that we never took somebody like that before.
Look, what do y'all think about this? So No Strays is saying that we'll take the Bradley Beal just to get the picks that will come along with Bradley Beal. I don't.
The problem is this. There's two reasons for this.
Okay, go ahead.
The Suns fans and probably Bud honestly looks like he hates him too. They all hate Jokic right now. They do not want him on that team. No one else wants him. Same issue that we have with Pat. But his is worse, and his contract's even bigger.
Right.
So they're they need those picks. They need at least one of those picks to at least send them over. Another thing, those picks are all low value. They're picks from
low value.
Okay. Yes, these are low second round or first picks. These are essentially March round picks. Same thing. Last pick of the draft. It's you make it lucky, but do you know anyone out there? The top 10 is stacked this draft year. After that, it's kind of there might be someone there, but it's nothing crazy.
Right.
I mean, I'm with you, Paz. You get lucky and get a Jalen Wells.
Yeah, like you can get lucky there, but
that's
it's not guaranteed.
That's rolling the dice right
and
there.
Knowing this team and how they draft normally, I don't believe it. We're not really a drafting team right now. We haven't really been that. We've never been that, even since Milwaukee's been a thing. Usually when Milwaukee gets lucky with drafts because they have a high pick. Kareem was a high pick.
Right.
I agree.
We got Kareem from a coin toss.
Yeah.
So like
even Big Dog, even Glenn Robinson,
right.
Number one, same thing, yeah.
Shout out to Big Dog.
Same thing.
Cooper flag.
So this stuff is wild. That's why I put it up here. If y'all catch some of this stuff, that is hilarious. They put it in the chat. What up, Dr. Smith? Gonna tap you in here shortly, sir. All is well down there in New Orleans. You good? Wellness check. Wellness check. You good, sir?
I'll tap out.
All right. Appreciate you. What's your last words, Bleacher? But before we tap in, Dr. Smith.
I'm just, it was good. Had a good talk with you guys, and the Bucks didn't play tonight. We kind of sad they didn't play tonight, but they're going to actually I heard news that they're not even going to probably fly out till tomorrow to go home, and the game is at 6:30. So I don't know if they're going to play tomorrow. So
the Heat are having issues too. So like I don't know what's going on. Their situation's pretty bad there right now, but they don't have infrastructure.
Scales, what's up?
All right, but all right, Bleacher, appreciate you, bro. All right, tap in, Dr. Smith here. Dr. Smith, it's been a minute. All is well down there.
What's going on? What's going on, chat? What's happening? What's good? What's good?
What's good? Hey, Scales, you good, or you want me to tap you out for a minute? Let me just tap out Scales. I think he in the middle of something. Hold on. Let me rearrange this for a minute. Give me a second. Put you there. Put you there. Let's swap this out a little bit. All right, Dr. Smith, it's been a minute. Hey, I'm glad you around, bro. We definitely was gonna do a wellness check, see what was going on down there with the snow and whatnot.
I can't call it. I can't call it. So, you guys know I'm not from here, right?
Right.
I asked the people who've been here all their lives. The last time that they had a snowstorm like this was like the 90s. The
Word?
90s.
No,
Right.
the snow that they have is worse than what we had here in Jersey.
We didn't even get no snow like that in Wisconsin. Real talk. We got the cold. It's been below zero, but we haven't got the snow.
No, I know how cold it is. I've been seeing how cold it is. I got friends there too. I had a friend who lives in North Dakota.
Oh.
They're even still, their weather said -52.
Yeah, see, that's crazy.
That's not even.
That's Antarctica, literally. That's crazy.
That's hot right?
The weather here is like 16, 18
with wind. That's I can take that.
That's freezing.
Right.
And even I'm not dealing with that.
Facts. So, Dr. Smith,
yeah, no.
You see everything that's going on. You see that we in the media spotlight for controversial reasons about these trades. Right. So how do you feel? They talked about Beal with Levine, and then let's just talk about those two. I think anything else is a dark horse. What are your thoughts, sir?
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me move over here. With the Beal thing, I actually just, the last that I checked, because I found myself checking like constantly, like wondering, like, is this just talk or is it actually turning up into something else, right? Chris Haynes, who I'm starting to trust as an insider, said that there's been no talk from the Bucks as far as getting Beal is concerned, that this all was suggested by people who were thinking that the Bucks could be the third team that helps facilitate this, right? So to me, I don't know where the Bucks benefit from this, right? Just to be a third tag along so that Phoenix and Miami can get what they want. What's the point? I don't think that Beal is better than Chris Middleton right now.
I agree with that. That's the thing. I would keep Middleton over Beal, but I said the question would be over Levine. That I don't know.
Levine one has more upside because he's younger. That's the biggest thing, is his age. Age and athleticism is the biggest thing, but you're losing a lot of playoff experience though. That's another factor.
Yeah,
he has none. He probably has essentially none at this point. Well, he's had like 2 years maybe max. Really, when has Chicago ever been in the playoffs half the time?
Maybe when he was maybe in Minnesota.
Even they were terrible in Minnesota. I don't know about that. They didn't get to playoffs. They did not get to playoffs until that play-in game when Pat.
Yeah, true. Yeah, fair point. So, what you think about all that though, Dr. Smith? Like, if it was an option for
I don't like those. I don't like those moves in particular. I don't think that. I think the team could definitely sharpen up for sure, but not with those guys. Certainly not with Beal, right?
Right, I agree.
With all respect to Beal, right? And I'm sure, and he's had his moments in the NBA,
Hilarious.
Right? He's had some star moments or whatever, but I feel like Beal would almost. He's a better player than Malik Beasley was, but defensively we'd run into the same issues that we ran into last year, which is you'd have like this gaping hole in the backcourt, asking guys to defend. Beal to me is not a good defender right now as it is. Either the Bucks are top scales. What's happening? Either the Bucks are top 10 or they're just outside of the top 10. I think you get Beal, we take a step backwards, right? Any player that you get in is kind of like hitting the reset button because these guys would have to get used to, the different systems that the Bucks are trying to run and whatnot. And mind you, these guys have been playing basketball all their lives, and I don't see anything super complex with what Milwaukee's doing offensively, defensively, but still, like, it's not the same vernacular, it's not the same verbiage. And you can still see guys who've been in the system in Milwaukee who don't have it 100% down pat yet, right? I was rewatching some game where I saw Ajax, who's our best point of attack defender.
Easily.
He and Brook had cycled out to the same guy and Brook was trying to push Ajax out to the shooter who ended up getting the ball and shooting the corner three. I'm only saying that to say this, right? Like, we still have errors with guys who've been here, and you're going to bring in someone new, and that's going to be like hitting the reset button.
Agreed.
On some of the momentum that we've already brought, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler, I did not like, because Jimmy Butler is essentially the same age as Brook. If we're already starting to run into issues and we're talking about age with Jimmy Butler, why would you bring in a potential malcontent? That's not to say that he would come to Milwaukee and cause all kind of concern and whatnot, because for the first couple of years, if you're just going by the pattern, it's always worked with Jimmy Butler. First couple of years, you know what I mean? And at his age, I don't expect to really have him for longer than 2 years anyway, if that was a reality. I don't expect that, right? I just don't know that he would help us in the immediate time period, and you'd be hoping that in the playoffs, you'd be hoping that he stays healthy, and you'd have to give up a lot for one player in the hope that an older player would be able to stay healthy. Now, I think defensively, I would love what Jimmy Butler would bring to us. I'm just not 100% sold on that, and I'm even less sold on Beal. I don't want Beal at all. I salute to Bradley Beal. Phoenix is trying to get rid of a rough situation that they got themselves into, and they're looking for a dummy. And we don't have to go on that dummy mission. That's somebody else. Let somebody else figure that out, right? I would much rather, if we're going to sharpen our roster up, to shore up our post defense with an athletic big. It does not have to be a star, right?
Yeah.
That's what I would like to bring in. And the first thing that you'd have to do is you have to get below the second apron to be able to do anything.
Right.
Like, the rules that exist right now are complicating a lot of the moves that we have to make. So first things first is we'd have to get rid of one of these salaries. And every time I read about it, Pat Connaughton's salary is the first one that people bring up to bring us below the second apron. We're not actually that far.
No, it's a couple $100,000, or maybe $1 million or $2 million, if that. It's not crazy.
Pat gives you
about $4 million.
Yeah. The reason why you want to do Pat is Pat gives you more options to get in more, because you can take more in at that point. That's the reason why. So you still have some left over, so you can still add something.
Good point.
And that's just for us to start facilitating any kind of movement. I said it before that the moves that we need to make need to be to clear up our salary situation. Because right now we are being above the second apron, to me, means that we're playing Aston Martin vanquish money, right?
Right.
We should have a top 3 team. If we are one of the highest paid teams in the league, that should show on the court, right? If I agree for Aston Martin, I want Aston Martin performance. Now, we are getting to a place where I am happier with Milwaukee's play.
Right.
We're doing more good than bad, but we're far from a finished final product, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I think first things first is we need to figure out, like, some of these salaries and figure out how to stop overpaying players, right? The Brook Lopez contract, don't get me wrong, I would much rather have Brook Lopez than not.
Right.
But that was he struck when the iron was hot. He and his agent did what they were supposed to do. I'm not mad at him. But Brook Lopez re-upped on his contract the year after, correct me if I'm wrong, after he was the first runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, and I said we should have traded him. Yeah.
Has he been the first runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year since then? His value has depreciated. Not depreciated to the point where I'm done with him.
Right, but it's depreciated.
Which is why you don't do that. You don't pay people for what they've done. You pay people for what they're gonna do. You see this a lot. You see this played out a lot better in football, to be honest with you, right?
Daniel Jones. But the thing is, you could cut the water off. You got a lot more options to cut the water off in football than basketball. They gave Daniel Jones that $100 million, and then they cut him. Then he just had his guarantee money, and that's it.
Yep, contracts are a lot easier to negotiate there than here. NBA contracts are completely different.
Yeah,
another reason why.
Same thing,
Another reason right there for why you wouldn't do the Bradley Beal trade. He has a no trade clause. Why would you take someone in like that? What if it goes south? Let's say you do it. It doesn't work out because it most likely won't work out. You would
But
have
he would
to
have to waive
focus.
his no trade clause to even get traded initially, though.
But he had to, yeah. But even still, then you would have the issue again because it'll still show up. It's just gonna keep going and going and going. Like, you don't want to deal with all that.
Oh, hold on 1 second, Scales. I can't hear you. Hold on 1 second. Go ahead, Scales.
That's why he, to Paz's point, that's why he's in trade. To Paz's point, that's why he's in trade rumors now, because he said he will waive his no clause to come to Milwaukee.
No, that was all fake.
That was fake too?
Yeah, I know it's fake because the first time he said this, he was like, when he was saying that they were about to trade him for Middleton, like a while back. Remember when we had that report come out?
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, I'm glad they didn't do that because that's just disrespectful to Chris. That's disrespectful to that." I'm like, okay.
But
Now
the
he's
logistic.
If we're just
changing it.
gonna keep it $1, Bradley Beal is. We're just talking about name recognition for past bodies. He ain't did nothing recently. We got to stop trying to get people on name recognition. That's what happened with Jay Crowder. We remember what Jay Crowder used to do, but not what he's been doing, and that led us down the wrong road. And I do not want us to. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't want Bradley Beal just because I watched him play. I don't want nobody like that on my team. He's a name recognition. He wants to be the guy. He can't fall back. It doesn't look like he understands hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm him, I would be trying to be cool because you got KD, Hall of Famer. You got Book, a Hall of Famer. You ain't won nothing. You ain't even been good since John Wall was in the NBA. And that's many, many moons ago, bro. So I don't want that personality. Like I said, if we were going to get anybody, I'm not saying we should or shouldn't, but I would lean
LaVine
LaVine.
makes no sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
LaVine's the
LaVine
only
makes more
one that
sense
I'm like,
financially and physically.
I
It
couldn't
makes more
even say him,
sense.
but I don't even like him though.
Yeah, I'm just
What
saying
does he
if
do?
they're going to do it,
If they
if
were
they're
to go
going to.
somewhere,
of the three, he's the best one. Yes.
Yeah, out of the three. If they're going to do something no matter what, I'm saying I would
No,
take LaVine. If they're doing something no matter what, Dr. Smith.
He's definitely trying something right now because
Mm-hmm.
LaVine does fit well with the team. That's the one thing that I do see. LaVine fits. Jimmy kind of fits. The Jimmy thing is tricky.
Hold on 1 second, bro. I forgot D Smith. What up, D Smith? Appreciate the $4.99 super chat. The player we should have be looking out for is Brandon Ingram. If not Ingram, I'm sure we will off Pat Marjan and Wright. We'll see. Brandon
That whole
Ingram is
team is injured.
an enigma too. That's another enigma.
It's
I
it,
don't know if he really
oh,
moves a needle, and
it's.
he's about as injury prone as Middleton. They brothers,
I,
one just younger.
I don't know if it's
oh,
because I don't know if it's just their builds or whatever, but there's something going on in New Orleans with their players. 'Cause for
Yeah,
some
they're
reason,
constantly hurt. Zion, yeah, that's actually
even
crazy. You're right.
and some of those players, they move out. They don't get injured anymore. I don't hear injury reports about AD that much anymore.
That's
As soon as he
true.
moved out,
well, I mean, if we're analyzing play, Zion's thing is a maturity thing.
Yeah,
Like
Zion.
that's
he
his
needs
Yeah,
to
yeah.
maturity. Yeah,
and,
because
and be a professional in basketball, right? There's no reason other than like a medical emergency that you should be missing or late to a flight or anything like this. Is your job.
He was
Like, you know
eating.
what I
He
mean?
was
It's your
eating.
job.
He was hungry.
he's in the wrong place, bro. You're getting too good food there.
Right.
Yeah.
I've
So
seen
I
trade
don't,
rumors about him going to Miami. I'm like, are you guys serious? Miami of all places? Do you
Look,
see what his
not
wife looks like? His wife got BBL. You think he's in the
let
BBL
me ask
district?
Dr. Smith the question I asked y'all earlier. Dr. Smith,
what's
does this roster have a ceiling, or is this roster good enough to win a championship as currently constructed?
Milwaukee. Well, Milwaukee would have to show me that they can beat a contending team other than the one time that they beat OKC and the one time that they beat Houston, right? And I love my team saying this, right? But we've already been swept by the Celtics. We're getting swept by Cleveland. We've lost 2 straight against New York, right? So against the big heavyweights, we're very similar to the Packers in this way, that we've shown the ability to beat up on the mediocre teams and the lower level teams, if that. Because I mean, quiet as it's kept, we lost 3 out of 4 against Brooklyn too, right? We got an opportunity to show our chops against Memphis. We got politely escorted right off the court, right? So before I would say, I think we're getting better. I will say that. I do like some of the energy that I'm starting to see us play with. I don't know if that's like the system clicking in, or whether guys have, looked on the calendar and said, all right, it's January. If we're following the pattern, this is when we start digging in and we start really kind of going after teams and getting them out of the way. Because I do see the mistakes that we make to be effort-based. That's just my opinion, right? The other night when we were playing Toronto, you could hear Doc screaming at these guys to get a stop, because we were going up and down the court and we were scoring, and it looked like a YMCA game, right? Where you run maybe like a basic set, 2 sets or whatever, but no one is really playing defense. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of basketball that we were playing at that time. It's effort based, right? I think Damian and Giannis, when you have Damian and Giannis, you got to punch a shot to win any game that you. So that's kind of like the category I would put us in. I think we have a puncher shot. But the very top teams in the league right now, Cleveland, OKC, do I think that we can beat them in a 7-game series? I would have to see more from us for me to feel like we can beat them 4 out of 7 times, right? One of the problems that I think needs to be fixed in a personnel change is, again, like I said, our defense in the post. I think Brook is a situationally good defender. I think Bobby is a complete victim on defense, right? So, which is why if you're trying to go for another player, that's who I would be looking for personally. I would not be looking for Bradley Beal, who does not fit better than Chris Middleton into this team. He's another scorer. I'm not going to, crap on Bradley Beal as if he's a non-player. He just doesn't fit with what Milwaukee has going on, right? He's, to me, doesn't show me that he's a consistently good facilitator. And right now, that's where Chris Middleton, that's the best part of his game, is his facilitation, right? And we need that. So if you're going to move on from that, I better be getting something back that can compensate for what it is I'm losing, right? Because Chris Middleton quietly is still a better facilitator, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Than our starting point guard.
Yeah, that's a good fact. Yeah. Damian is not a creator, in my opinion. He's a pure scorer. He's masquerading as a point guard. He's a 2.
I mean,
I think he's good. I just don't think he's as good as Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
Right.
There's just certain things that he doesn't do quite as well. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like the touch, and that's not even to say that he's reached the ceiling and he'll never get any better. I'm starting to see, growth from Damian, but as it stands right now, right here as we speak right now, I would take Chris Middleton's ability to facilitate over Damian Lillard's. I wouldn't take Bradley Beal's ability at all. Bradley Beal is the recipient of a good pass and he can score. But as far as being able to make his other teammates good or better, to me, he hasn't shown that he is consistently good at that. Consider that he plays alongside the easiest basketball player in the easiest superstar in the league, and they still can't make it work. Kevin Durant is a dream.
Right.
He's a dream to play next to.
USB.
It's not because of KD. It's because of Book. It's the issue. Because him and Book do the exact same things half the time. There is no reason to do that. There is no reason for them to trade because you just have the same player. It's just the same player, just paying a little bit more. This player's getting paid $40 million. This player's getting paid $50 million.
They were infatuated with the name recognition. That's what that move was. Sometimes they were blinded by Bradley Beal and looking at past achievements. The same way the Bucks were blinded by Brook because of past achievements, not looking at what, like Dr. Smith said, what are you going to do in the future? Which is why I said we have to get on our Bill Belichick. Sometimes you got to trade a year early before a year late to get your maximum value to keep replenishing the team.
It's that as one part, and the other part is, keep in mind, this is the same time their owner changed. That's why they did the KD trade. That's why they did the Beal trade. When owners come in, they have to make statements. They have to be like, we have to do something. We got a new owner. What do they do? Try to get Dame. These guys, every single new owner will try to do some crazy thing, whether or not it makes sense or not.
That's a good point.
They will try. New ownership
always. Because to his point and to your point, Amara, it's the name recognition, so they think it's gonna sell tickets.
Yep.
If I just bought a team, I'm trying to sell tickets, bro. I need my
money back.
I don't care who wins.
Right.
I'm just trying to. tickets. I need people in them seats. I just bought a team. I got to make sure this makes sense
Right.
to my lawyer and my wife and all these people that I just made this huge investment, that this makes sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if people ain't filling the seats, so they jump out the window for name recognition. And sometimes it works. I feel like 90% of the time it doesn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to build a team from within, in my opinion. You can add pieces, but those Warriors, like you said, KD's plug and play. So him going to the Warriors, the foundation was already there. You
Yeah,
get
he
what I'm
just
saying?
got
Like,
his money. He just got his. He don't even need a lot of touches. You get
There's also
KD
another
20
factor.
touches, he hit 10 to 12 shots every night. Every night.
Honestly, you don't have to go to the Warriors. You can go even later on with the Brooklyn when he was there.
yeah,
Because the Warrior one is a little bit tricky because the Warriors is the reason why the CBA started happening like how it was
yeah, facts,
for contracts.
facts.
Because
Yeah,
they
that's
had
ground
space for him.
zero. That is
They didn't
ground
have to.
zero.
They didn't do any trades. They just got him during free agency. There was
Mhm.
no trades. Their team is the exact same that it was from before.
They
That's
ran
the
through the
problem.
NBA. Yeah.
That's why they did all that.
Hold on
So
one
they're like-
second. Hold on one second. Our homie back in the super chat. What up, No Strays ENT? Our favorite op. Appreciate the $4.99 super chat. Catches Giannis wanted Beal based on the previous trade for K-Mid. Now the Suns have picks to add to the Bucks. Hold on one second. They have picks to add. The Bucks need them. Remember, a low value is better than no value.
Here's the thing with that, right? I would say once upon a time, to this point, Giannis also wanted Coach Griffin because of what he thought Griffin was going to implement in Milwaukee's team. Giannis, as much
Cook,
as
Dr. Smith.
valued as he is as a leader, right? Sometimes you need to see something in action to realize, okay, that didn't work at all, right? And it was because of that fiasco, and then we had to get Doc Rivers mid-season, and we had to bring over Pat Beverly and his throwing the ball at fans' self and whatnot to try and implement defense, right? I would say, though the Bucks have struggled this year from here and there, and like I said, the experience is like watching a plane struggle to get off the ground. But the one thing that I am happy with is that we have reestablished a defensive identity, right? We have done that. We are better defensively, much better than we were last year. I think it's a night and day improvement. I think Giannis individually is playing better. I think a big part of Giannis playing better is because he's reinvigorated. He's in a better system.
Right.
It's not a perfect system. We've argued about this system on this chat, but it's a better system that we've had last year. We have better wing defense, better point of attack defense.
We're a better team than last year all the way around, in my opinion.
Certainly. But to just talking about defense, right? Because this is where I think Bradley Beal loses tremendous value, right? You bring in Bradley Beal, we're going right back to the Stone.
Right. We're right back to Beasley.
Right back to the Stone Age. Right back to watching.
I don't know if it's that bad, but yeah.
Your favorite players, just watch someone just walk right by him, no challenge, no nothing. Go get right to their spots. Don't get in front of him. He can't do anything, and that's also got to be a part of it. So I think like when it comes to like people creating like these super teams, I think part of the problem is they only look at what teams may be able to do offensively. It is still an offensive and defensive game until proven otherwise. Until they outlaw defense, that has to be a part of your final formula. Bradley Beal, I'm not going to say he's a terrible defender, but has he ever been known for any kind of defense whatsoever? And to that point, has Zach LaVine?
No.
Well, I said I don't want either one of them. I with all due respect, we talk about Chris Middleton. You know what Chris Middleton will do? Chris Middleton will get out to the perimeter and put his body in between the offensive player.
He'll make the smart basketball play.
Right. And even with his limited mobility, he's still able to do. That should be an indictment on those players. That Chris Middleton has 2 surgically repaired ankles and can give me better defense than Bradley Beal and Zach LaVine. Now, I think Zach LaVine's thing is, I'm just playing in Chicago. I don't want to be here anymore.
Right.
And I think you send him to a contender, and he would be a night and day different player. I would not be surprised if I see that. But Bradley Beal went to. Say again.
It's definitely that, because I remember all those rumors last year. He was pissed off. He did not want to be there last year. He's only playing now because he has to.
Right. So I think Zach LaVine would. I'd be interested to see what his defense looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But Bradley Beal went to a super team, or who people thought was going to be the super team. Just rewind the clock back to when Phoenix first formed that squad and all the talk that existed around Bradley Beal and existed around the Phoenix Suns.
Who's beating this three? Who's beating this top three?
Right.
That's all it was.
They were Beatles for a quick second until they saw it on the court and they were like, never mind. Like, you know what I mean? But they had all that energy around them. Nah,
all that just gets swept. Yeah. They got swept in the first round.
Go ahead, Scale.
You knew when I put the rap for Bradley Beal in Phoenix is when Bud got the job. Bud's not a player coach, bro. He don't care how much money you made or what you did before. What I say, go. If I say you 6 man, bro, you 6 man. If I say swing that rock, you better swing that rock. Or guess what? You can get out of town, bro. Because they'll get rid of you before they get rid of me. I got the ring. You don't. I don't care if they pay
especially if I'm new.
They'll move you around, and that's why he's frustrated the way he is. He wasn't this mad under Vogel last year. He's pissed under Bud because Bud don't play that, bro. Bud do not care. Ask Giannis now. Giannis and Chris and them were babies, so they had no choice but to listen to Bud. Right. Well, as they got older, you started noticing the rumblings a little bit. Like, hey, man, you know what I mean?
Grown man.
Bud from the Popovich tree, man. You gonna do what Bud say, or it's the highway, bruh. Or he leaving. It's one or the other. One of us gotta go. And I'm not saying that to say he's an asshole or he's a mean guy, but that's just the way he runs shit. You get what I'm saying? Because he learned from Popovich. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're not gonna get that friendly catering to you because you getting all this money. You know what I mean? And what you did in Washington with John Wall, favoritism with him, especially when he got a Booker and a KD on the roster. No, it ain't happening for you, bro. You better fall in line. For
Another
real.
factor too, the moment I knew their thing would fail is right here. As soon as they said how much the contracts were all worth. KD's at 51 million. Beal's at 50 million. Booker's at 49 million. That's only $1 million difference between each of them. Your whole payroll's right there in 3 players.
No bench, bro.
And again, when it comes to the formation of these super teams, right? We laugh when we kid with no strays, like you said, he's our favorite op or whatever, right? But Boston, when they built their super team, had the right idea, right? Because they went to guys who were two-way players and can give them production on both ends of the court, right? So it's not just the fact that the Jays are good mid-range players and shoot threes and whatnot. They're also very long players who can play defense out on the wing, who can switch, who have the defensive IQ and the desire to go out and do that. So I've watched games where the Celtics can both outscore you and completely shut you down. I mean, they went from 2 different identities in back-to-back seasons, right? Then they have, like, there was one season, I can't remember which, in what order, just because we're in the conversation and I'm talking about it right now, that's how it works, right? But after, like, from December onward, there was a year where they were, like, breaking records defensively on how, like, a little they were allowing the other team to score. And the very next year, they were, like, the complete opposite. They were just shooting teams off the court, right?
Oh, that was 2022. That was during what's his name? When Ime was there.
Udoka.
Right.
Yeah, that was the year we went off against them. That was 2020 23. That was 22 actually is when it was.
Right.
That was the year we faced them.
Yep.
They were a well-built team, right? This is when they had Time Lord and whatnot. They were just like offense, defense. They gave you everything. And I just don't think that a lot of these teams, when they're building their squads and they're trying to build their super team, have enough of that in mind. They have all of the jump shots, 160 points a night. That's what they have in mind, right? How are you going to stop the other team from scoring? I don't think that, and again, I'm not going to like super dunk on Bradley Beal as if he's a nothing player, right? I just don't know that he's ever shown me that he's had the defensive chops to come to a team that right now is defensive led. Milwaukee's defensive led right now. It's the offense that we we talk about. So I get why people would say, well, that's why you bring in Bradley Beal. But then once you do that, whatever defensive strides we've made, we are going right back to what it was last year. I'm not willing to sacrifice that on a player that I don't think is better than Chris Middleton to begin with.
At
I
all.
agree.
You know what I mean? Zach LaVine, to be honest with you, I'm not really interested in him either. If I could have it my way, and I know that this is never going to happen. If I could have it my way, right, I would be trying to figure out how to get that brother from Utah, their center,
Kessler.
over. Yes, that's who I would like to have, right? And then there's always quality post defense, right? Brook Lopez, you're not going to have him forever. So, I mean, at some point, that has to be part of the plan, right? What is the next step? I know it's about here and now, but what happens when Brook Lopez can't get out of bed anymore the way that he used to, right? Which is sooner than later.
Later, right.
He's 30 how much years old? Like, you know what I mean? He's younger than me, but he's
He
getting to be
36. He
old to be
36.
playing basketball.
Yeah, he's definitely 36.
Right? So what is the plan? It certainly can't be Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis is a non-defender. He's not a center. So what is our future as far as center is concerned? That's along the lines that I'd be thinking, right? Do you see a center in the draft? I would love to have gotten that brother down in Memphis. It didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
Milwaukee didn't have the ability to trade up and get him.
Yeah.
Right?
Delaware,
Milwaukee didn't have get up and trade him. This is why, if you're going to trade, you need to start thinking about your flexibility and your ability to move, and that has to be your priority. That has to be your priority, because if you're strapped the way that we are, where we can't move, then I need to see that production on the court. If we're so high paid that we have no movement, then we need to be blowing everybody out.
Fact.
Because essentially, we're one of the highest paid teams, then our team is already perfect then. And if we're not perfect and we need to move, then that needs to be the priority. It can't be both, right? It can't be we can't move and we're not the best team on the court. It's either we can't move because we're the best team on the court, or we need to create some movement so that we can become the best team on the court. No, and I love my Bucks, but no, I don't think that we can compete with Cleveland right now. No,
I agree. But that's why I'm saying. That's why I was saying maybe a shakeup is needed in the organization, and they realize that, like, if we don't do something, we know that we have a ceiling. Maybe a second round, maybe it's Eastern Conference. But I don't think that they believe that this is a championship roster, or otherwise none of these rumors would have even came out. They're not just coming out of thin air. So we're looking to do something. Maybe it's not LaVine, maybe it's not Beal, but the Bucks are definitely looking to do something. Otherwise, their name wouldn't be involved. We don't hear the Knicks in no trade rumors. We don't hear all these other. We're hearing the Bucks for a reason. I'm not saying there's fire, but there's definitely some smoke coming from the Fiserv Forum for sure.
Aren't the Mavs trying to move Daniel Gafford?
Yep, him too. Yep, saw that in the chat.
Gafford works for defense wise. He does not shoot threes though, so do not expect a 3-and-D center.
But to me, it gives us the
off the bench for Bobby.
Yeah,
the problem is they want a wing though. They want a guard who can defend. So Bobby's really not an option. That's the problem.
No.
We in a rock and a hard place. That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's just best for this team to stay pat.
That would have to be a three. That would have to be a 3-team trade. Well,
damn, this second Bobby, apron, bro. Damn.
Someone wants Bobby out there. I'm guarantee you, someone wants Bobby. You could get Gafford.
I mean, the name that I keep getting, I keep seeing. How do you guys feel about Robert Williams?
We all love Robert Williams, but they gonna want to pick with him. They would. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah. It's not. No team is gonna do us no favors, Dr. Smith. No team. Like, hey, y'all need Robert. We'll throw you Robert Williams for Marjan and Pat Connaughton. They not gonna do that. I know to get Robert Williams a third for a fact. They're gonna want to pick.
Yeah, and I'm not trading
a player and a pick.
Are you trading your 31st pick, your 2031 pick that you know for sure Giannis is gonna be almost out of the league?
Right.
He's gonna be out of the league. Chris is not gonna be here. This whole team is gonna be completely different by that.
Right.
We have that more than likely that pick will probably be a top 5 pick. I'm not doing that.
youth movement. They don't want no old heads over there, man. They
Right.
cool. They don't want no old heads over there.
That's why we might have to let these contracts for real just fall off in the off season. I don't know if it's worth rocking the boat right now.
Ideally, you want to. Yeah.
I'm sorry. How old is Robert Williams?
He is
what, 26?
He get drafted?
Oh yeah, he's young.
Yeah. His problem is his Achilles heel is the same Achilles heel that Middleton has, is the injury. But when he's available, just like with Chris, impact, immediate impact.
Immediate impact.
He's 27. He's 27.
That's cool.
Right.
That's still cool. Damn, that's almost 10 years younger than Brooke.
He's actually he's shorter than I thought.
6'9"?
Yeah, I thought he was taller.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like almost a 7'5" wingspan.
It's the wingspan. Yeah, it's the wingspan.
Oh, it's 7'6". Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's the wingspan. That's why he the Time Lord. That wingspan is serious. The wingspan is
that's
serious.
Like my man Ryan Rollins.
Right.
Rondo wingspan. I'm telling you, that's why Rollins is gonna be a baller. Watch this.
I'm standing on Rollins. I'm standing on Rollins early. Tough, AJ Johnson, I'm standing on early. Early. I'm putting a stamp on them dudes early. But let's do round robins. I'm going to get back in the chat here for a moment before we get up out of here. Great conversation today. I'm about to make some shorts off of this one. Great conversation. Let's start with Dr. Smith. Glad to see all is well for Dr. Smith in New Orleans. He was able to join the chat. On you, sir. Then we'll go to pass this. It was skills.
I said that I was no excuses, no nothing. No, I reconfigured my entire week. I was gonna be in the building. Where was I at today? Out there shoveling snow.
He don't like that.
From that.
He don't like that.
He moves to the south for a reason, man. He's in the south for a reason.
I don't want to have to deal with any toll booths anymore. I don't want to have to deal with any parking tickets anymore. I don't want to have to deal with the snow anymore. I thought I was good. I come all the way down here. Of course, the minute that I'm going to go watch these guys and they're healthy enough to play, because every time they've come down here to New Orleans for the last couple of years, Chris is out, Giannis is out, somebody is out. So I said, all right, I'm not. You know what I mean? Everyone was going to be in the house. Everyone was going to play. The snow said, nah, never mind. Shutting all of that down.
All right.
All of it. It's been postponed. I mean, so that just means that
they'll play
later on.
Right.
That's how it goes, right? Nah, I'll make it quick. I think, like I said, I don't think we're that far. I do think that we're starting to click a little bit, but I do want to see it against a quality opponent. I do. Right. Hey. I thought that I felt really good about us going into that Knicks game and was very quickly humbled. They destroyed us. Right. And so I need to see something better than what it is I saw. Right. Otherwise, I do think that we need to make a move. But none of the moves that keep getting talked about are moves that I would be in favor of at all. Please no. Please no. Please no to Bradley Beal. Please no to Jimmy Butler. No to Zach LaVine. Just say no. No to all of that, right? Try to figure out how we can get one of these younger guys. And if it means trading a pick, quiet as it's kept, Marjan was a pick. I think sometimes there's too much stock being put in the picks. If there's a guy right now who's a proven commodity right here, right now, I'm not saying mortgage away your future for just anybody, right? But put some thought into it. Is all I'm saying.
I agree.
That's all.
I agree. It's good to have you back, Dr. Smith. We was a little concerned. It's good to have you back. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
And my boy down there in Jersey. What's up, Pass? Hold on, we gonna all get out of here. Go. It's all you, Pass.
So I found something out today. So you put the Chris Haynes report. I'm 100% sure he's inside this building because he is consistently. He's for one, he's a Dame guy. Mm-hmm. Two, I just found this out. Apparently, Giannis's wife is his cousin. Didn't know that till now.
Okay, that's
so
crazy.
And he's good friends with Doc. So there are three things right there. Yeah. So that report about Beal 100% not being linked to us, I for sure believe it now. There's no way it's not. There's no way it's not true. Which means that if we are linked to them in some way, It is 100% just for facilitating something, which means we're probably going to get picks or send out some small piece and it.
Right,
Which
like
means they're probably going to
Marjan,
be.
Pat, and I'm
Yes,
okay with that too. Let's get
that
some
is
of the
fine with
dead
me.
weight off of this roster.
I am
Either way,
fine with
I
doing
think we
that.
need, no matter what, friends and family, we don't do a big splash. We need to move some people just for roster spaces.
Yeah.
We
Right.
need Ryan Rollins is not really on this team. I don't think people
Right.
understand the gravity of this.
Right.
We need
Right.
Ryan Rollins on this permanent roster, especially if we think we're gonna make a run in the playoffs. We don't have that many ball handlers on this team. Giannis, Dame, sometimes Chris. Ryan Rollins is the only other real ball handler on this team that I trust. So we need to figure that out. So if we're facilitating a move for Phoenix, cool. Can we get rid of DeLon Wright? Can we get rid of Pat Connaughton? Can we get some picks back? I'm cool. That would be a win to me. Even if we got back some second rounders, but we got 2 roster spots available, I'm cool with that. That's a win for me. That's a win. Go ahead, pass. Then we go to Scales.
Agree.
That's essentially what I've heard about it.
Okay.
That's really it. That's what I gotta say.
On you, Scales. Appreciate you, pass. On you, Scales.
Like I said, man, I'm gonna just echo what you just said. Really, we got to get Rollins on this team, man. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, that's the number one
Yeah.
thing. So I mean, like what Paz said, if we're a part of, because I know you'll get thrown into a big blockbuster deal just to, because you make the deal work. Pat's
Right.
$9 million deal work. Marjan's $3 million or whatever, $4 million can make the deal work at the end of the day. So you could get thrown into that, and all we're looking for is a roster spot or you know what I mean, or some picks back. So I agree with you on that. I think we need to build from within. I'm sticking to that. I've been screaming that since October when I first joined this pod.
Right.
You know what I mean? Podcast. We got to build from within because we don't have much wiggle room. Now that I understand the second apron even more, and I don't like the trade market or the free agent market right now, so I'm cool. So you just need to build from within. Play your young boys if it come down to it. Chris Livingston got to get on the court, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You got to start playing these dudes, and I'm with you. Addition by subtraction. You feel me? So if you gotta get like you might just have to eat DeLon Wright's contract. He's not making that much money. We
Yeah,
signed him
$2
for a
million.
veteran.
Like two. A
Yeah,
vet
you might
man.
just
He on a
have
vet
to eat
man.
that. Yeah, you might just have to eat that to make room for what you need to be equipped to go after Cleveland, New York, and Boston. You know what I'm saying? Because that's our goal until we get to whoever we gonna face if you get to the final dance. But right now, we got to gear up to be ready to beat one of those 3 teams, if not 2 of those 3 teams.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with it. I'm cool on all these trades. Jimmy Butler, Beal. I think Bradley Beal has the worst contract in NBA history.
Maybe in the
I think
history
Beal
of the
has the
game.
worst contract in NBA history. I don't care what
Right.
anyone says. $55 million for a guy that averages like 14,
It's
15
crazy.
is horrible. That's crazy in today's
Who-
climate. Crazy when you think
Who
about
has no
that.
defensive identity. Who has no defensive identity
No,
whatsoever.
none.
Yeah.
No leader, truly no leadership intangibles. Because once,
Right.
to Amara's point, if you know in basketball history, once Wall was gone, the Wizards were a shambles of themselves.
Right. Facts.
Yeah, he was just a guy out there chucking up shots every night. You know what I mean? It wasn't no identity. He wasn't a ball stopper. He didn't, you know what I mean? Even Dame, with Dame being a volume shooter, we've seen Dame this season alone, make defensive stops and make defensive plays. You can look up a Bradley Beal defensive highlight reel. I don't even think one exists. That's what I'm saying. He's not one of those guys like that. Like, he can get hot or something, but Grayson Allen gets more minutes than him in Phoenix right now. So do you understand my point here?
Yeah.
Like, we had Grayson Allen. So that's what I'm saying. Unless you're going to get Grayson Allen back, I'm cool on Bradley Beal right now. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Jimmy Butler, I'm cool on him. Jimmy, you old as Brook. You don't play every night. We cool. We don't need no more guys that don't play every night. Jeremy Grant, I believe he's hurt, so I don't even know why people brought his name up. You can't even get him.
Right.
And Zach LaVine is cool, but I'd rather keep Chris. Just on the strength that my superstar loves Chris. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
As long as my superstar enamors Chris and has a connection with Chris, I'm going to keep my superstar happy.
Right.
So if I got to give Chris $39 million a season to keep my superstar happy, hey, that's what you got to do sometimes. You know, that's what, not to give Packers analogies, but that's what, our quarterback and wide receiver wanted a couple years ago, and they didn't get what they wanted, and they both left. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to kind of sometimes pay your people, bruh. You know what I mean? If that's going to keep the home happy. If that's gonna keep you know what I mean, the crib good, you got to pay them bills, man. And that's how I look at Middleton. His service availability hasn't been that good, but when he is available, he's phenomenal.
I agree.
And that's why his name's always in trade talks, because every team in the NBA could use a Chris Middleton. Yep. 50, 40, 90 guy at 6'8", clutch gene. Who wouldn't want that? Right. Doesn't argue, doesn't make any waves. He's not a Bradley Beal where he's pouting about his minutes.
Right.
He took his bench. He took them and owned them. And now he's like the best bench player in the NBA metrics-wise.
Right.
So sit on that. So that's what I'm saying. And he's only getting better. I think by game 6
has went up. That's what I said. He's definitely got our bench going. Facts.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's just where I'm at. I don't want to be long with it.
It's all good, bro. Appreciate you. Hopefully we have a game, if not tomorrow, the day after. But I wanted to get this live in so we could really talk about it, because everybody has been talking. I see on Reddit. I'm like, damn, this is really getting serious. So yeah, appreciate y'all tapping. Go ahead, Dr. Smith. Were you about to say something?
If I knew them dudes was still here, I'd have been like, look, come on with me. Let's go hang out.
And help me shovel this snow.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's what really would have happened. I'm not taking you nowhere. Help me. I got to get up and go to work. You guys. No, but why would you do that? Because the weather report's been out like for about a week now. We've known that this was going to happen. And we're not prepared for snow like the northern cities. If you knew that there was a potential, why did you even have them come down here, right? You know what I mean? You could have had them at home, and they could have been ready for Miami. Now, not only are they going to miss, tonight's game, but they are going to potentially miss the Miami game.
Right.
And that's good for now, the immediate time. But all those games have to be made up at some point.
Right.
That's what I was about to say. When are we supposed to make these games up?
It'll probably be at the end of the year, and there's going to probably be some multiple back-to-backs. It could be 2 back-to-backs in a week. So we got to be ready for that.
That's exactly. Crazy. So that's kind of what's annoying to me, for sure. But we'll see.
We'll see. Appreciate y'all. Dr. Smith, good to have you back. Pass. Hey, always appreciate you. Statistics, everything. Appreciate you, Pat. Scales, very knowledgeable. Appreciate all y'all. Great live so far. Appreciate you, gentlemen. Sir. All right, see y'all soon. All right, bro. All right, Pat. All right, let me get in here, get these super chats, and then tap in the homie. Then we gonna get up out of here. Great conversation today. There was so many different points of views today. Awesome conversation. Okay, all right. No strays. ENT, our favorite op, $4.99 super chat. If the Bucks pass on Bradley Beal and picks and get eliminated, Giannis is out. Remember what he said at the beginning of the season. He warned y'all. Come on, don't put that in the air. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. But salute to you, no strays, ENT. I reject your deposit. Respectfully, sir, I reject your deposit. Right. Thank you, Patricia. Stop it. No strays is a menace. Salute to the homie, though. Listen, no strays a menace. Let me tap in the homie Brandon. He ready now, so let me tap in Brandon. And then we gonna get up out of here, y'all. Please, hey, you know what? Hey, hit the like button, y'all. It's the free 99. We grinding all the time here, putting in the pain, providing you exceptional content, exceptional visuals, exceptional education on these Milwaukee Bucks. I'm just saying, hit the like button. Thank you. Much appreciated. Let's get them likes up, y'all. Y'all wildin'. Come on, man. What up, Brandon? Tell me how you feel about all these trade rumors, bro, before we get up out of here. Hey, if y'all don't know who Brandon is, he's Mr. One Game at a Time. That's the man that has pioneered that lingo in this chat. Salute to Brandon. Go ahead, bro. So what you think about everything? What you like, don't like? Would you trade anybody at all? What are your take real quick there, sir?
I heard and I rumors about Bradley Beal and Zach. I do not want either player. No way, no how. No way.
So do you think we should just wait should we just wait till the end of the season, Brandon, to make a move?
Or in off season.
Okay. Because so then Brandon, for you're saying that let's keep the team as it is and ride it out till the end of the season and then make any moves in the off season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because why though? It gonna mess up the chemistry.
Okay.
Because you cannot replace that with Chris and Giannis had. They've been together since the year. You cannot replace that. You
Right.
cannot replace that.
Facts.
Because I know Jimmy wants to be out of Miami. Bradley wants out of Phoenix.
Right.
Brad,
Zach
Bradley Beal,
and
he's
Zach.
not the same player way since John Wall left.
Right.
So, so, like, come on now. Because we be hearing all these rumors about getting someone. We don't want easy those players. Especially if we talk about Rudy, Pat, Pat, and Marjan. I think we need to keep it at what it is now.
Okay. Okay.
Because it gonna hurt. It gonna hurt in the long run.
Okay. I respect that. So for right now, so your viewpoint, Brandon, is just let's keep the team as it is. Let's ride it out and see what happens, and then make any changes in the off season. Is what you want, Brandon. Okay. All right.
That's
Okay.
my point.
Okay.
That's my point. Because reason why I don't want Buck Nation and fans to get confused that we have to make a move.
Okay.
We would, well, it's not the time as it right now. It's not that time right now.
Okay.
We
So
focus
so
on
we gonna
winning.
ride it out then, Brandon. So let's just ride it out.
We just, yes, we just have to grind it out.
Okay.
Grind it out till the wheels fall off.
Okay. All right. Okay, Brandon.
Because if we talk about give me up some white spots, yeah. That way, if we talk about getting white Rollins on the team, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what I'm
But
saying. So if we can get do a facilitated trade, maybe to get rid of like a DeLon Wright or a Pat Connaughton, you for that, but you don't want any major movement.
yeah,
Okay.
I want
Okay.
that
That's fair. That's fair, Brandon.
because reason why I want that making a blockbuster trade move
Okay. That's fair.
because let us keep the water as it is now and cut some people or get rid of them that way.
We can't just cut people, Brandon. We're in the second April. We would still owe money. We would have to get rid of people by facilitating a trade. That would be the easiest way. So if we get like if we need to be a facilitator for this big trade or whatnot, to if we can throw in DeLon Wright and a Pat Connaughton and get back some picks and get those two roster spots open, that would be the optimum situation, I think, for the Bucks.
Because anybody's not gonna help us.
Jimmy Butler's almost 40. He
Bradley
almost
Beal,
my age.
Bradley Beal, he doing it, not doing nothing for Phoenix.
Right, so
Just
that's what
like
I'm saying. So we just not gonna need to worry about it then, Brandon. We gonna hold it down the
I,
way it is, unless
all,
it's small trade, nothing big.
all I'm saying is, but they very friend. This is why I'm putting this out there. We're not making no move unless there's something happen. But we don't need to make no move because now Bradley Beal and Jimmy Butler is flying under the radar. They
Okay.
both flying under the radar.
I
So
I don't know what we gonna do yet, but to me, I just think like maybe we just ride it out. I don't know.
that
Maybe we just ride it out. We'll see. We'll see.
we have to. We come out the All-Star week, All-Star break.
Okay.
So just ride it out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. All right, Brandon.
That's all I can say. And
Okay.
take it one at a time. I know we can. I know we. know I'm not play tonight. I know I get that. But hopefully we can play tomorrow against Miami. I hope
If we do, we'll go live. If not, we'll go live when we play next time we play. So either way, we're gonna figure something out. But appreciate you tapping in, Brandon, Mr. One Game at a time. All right, Brandon.
Thank you for getting out, y'all.
All right, bro.
I'll let y'all tomorrow
All right.
and see what's up.
All right, bro. Go. Shout out to Brandon. Let me get the homie super chat. Appreciate the super chats. Ed Bizzle, the homie, appreciate the $5 super chat. Bill would need time to get used to Giannis and Dame. A mid-season trade wouldn't make any sense. That's an off-season move. That's what I'm thinking. The only way we would do that is like I said, if we're desperate or if we're facilitating another facilitating a trade where we could get rid of some of our dead weight, I would be totally cool with that as well. Totally cool. Appreciate the super chat though, Ed Bizzle. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Two Red Violin, I see you in the building. And Nemesis, what's good? Patricia P, boom! Focus on signing Rollins and let the chips fall where they may. My girl, there she is. What up, Patricia? Perfect. I agree. I think that's what might have to happen. Because if we do this in the middle of the season, it's going to turn our whole season upside down. I'm with that. Mr. Cool said, for the record, Malik Beasley is having a solid season. I know, Mr. Cool. I know. They always do that when they leave. They never do it when they here, unfortunately. But you're right, Mr. Cool. But I appreciate y'all tapping in. This was a great 2-hour live. I thought this was great discussion with friends and family, Bucks Nation. Appreciate all the people happen on the live. And y'all feel free, for anybody that's new, when you see the link in the live, copy paste it in your web browser. It'll ring to me and I'll tap you into the live. Like I said, this is an open format, friends and family. Keep it, you know what I'm saying? Keep it respectful. And hey, anybody can hop on the live. Anybody can hop on live and give your take, give your criticism, whatever you want to do. But this is a safe place for Bucks fans to debate in a respectful manner. So I appreciate everybody tapping in. If you have not already, please hit the like button. It helps the channel a great deal to grow and to expand the viewership. So I really appreciate y'all. No Stray said nobody's giving up first picks for Pat C. No, we're not saying first. We're saying second round picks or something. He's worth the second round pick. Come on now, No Strays. You're not just gonna spit in that man's face like that. Come on, No Strays. You know he worth the second rounder. Mr. Washington said, Mr. Cool, I bet he still gives up 25 points a night. Jesus Christ. Y'all have no y'all be going in the chat. The homie Nemesis said, appreciate you. Hey, I appreciate y'all for tapping in and helping this channel grow and just all the wealth of knowledge that's in this chat. That's why I be saying this is the #1 Bucks podcast on YouTube, your #1 Bucks source on YouTube. Look at the information in the chat. Look at the stats. Just look at the general IQ off the chain. Big ups to y'all. All right, y'all, I'm going to get up out of here. I'm Amber. This is Amara's Logic, Milwaukee Bucks trades, rumors, and news, where we discussing all the hoopla around the Bucks and massive trades that were rumored as far as Zach LaVine and Bradley Beal. The Bradley Beal one seems to be tapered off, but we just don't know. But if it was up to friends and family, I'm going to speak for us. We don't want to make any blockbuster moves, it appears. But what we would like to do is open up roster spots. And I think that would be the best way that we could get involved in any trade scenario is if we could dump DeLon Wright and Pat Connaughton to open up at least one roster spot for Ryan Rollins. He's earned his way on this team, friends and family. He's earned his way on this team. To be a real member of this permanent roster, Ryan Rollins needs to be on this team. Let me know what y'all think. Keep the conversation going in the comment section. Comment, like, subscribe, share the electrifying content. Hey, enjoy the mellow moods on the way out. Hey, who got better intro, outro music than me either, man? Oh, man, we out here winning. Let's go, friends and family. Go Bucks, go. What? Let's go.